I'm joking. You wouldn't say that.
There's no way that you said that. There's no way in a million years. Hi, everybody.
Welcome back.
Welcome back after a month and a half?
Something like that.
Not that anyone fucking cares anyway.
Right.
But
We've got our 4 listeners.
It's fun, anyway.
It's fun to pretend people care
Fucking
about
gives
our
a shit.
opinions.
Everyone has a goddamn internet whatever. Why not us?
A goddamn internet whatever.
Whatever. Let's
Podcast
just
title.
I love it. We got to rename the last 3 episodes. Goddamn internet whatever.
No, that's just the name of this episode.
With Joe and Patti. Oh, I love it. We already got a name right off the bat.
We don't have to think of one.
Joe and Patti have complaints. Goddamn internet and whatever. What'd you just do?
I wrote down a goddamn internet whatever.
Okay. What are we talking about?
Oh, we're talking about everything and nothing.
I mean, what are we talking about right now?
Oh, shit. I don't know. I mean, I can tell you.
Do we need to let them know? Now
What?
that anyone gives a shit?
What?
What the specifics?
We'll talk about them as they
We'll
come
get there, baby.
I was just going to say, I mean, I don't remember what part of our Blu-ray collection I was on
Last time we did
this. I want to say it was like...
I don't know. You watched a lot of them without me. Did you watch Evil Dead?
I did.
Escape from New York.
I mean, I did. I have watched all of those. I'm on J now.
Like, the last movie we saw was Black Panther, which, in time, we've only seen...
One more movie since. Well, no, I mean, you saw The Greatest Showman.
Kinda. I saw parts of it. I didn't really care for it.
We rented it.
We rented... No.
We borrowed it.
Borrowed that from the theater.
but still.
So we watched it.
And then we watched Disaster Artist.
Yes. So we're behind the game.
And then
but we're catching up.
Most recently, I mean, we did see it like 2.5 weeks late, but we did see Ready Player One.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it.
I mean, I was gonna say, you know, as we just watched Jurassic Park 3, about what a weird cast that has.
Right,
That's
because there's
interesting.
only about 8 people in that movie.
Right, total. And like, it's such an odd mix. You have one
It's an eclectic
cast member from the first movie, begrudgingly.
You got Ellie.
It seems like. Oh yeah, Ellie Sattler.
Ellie
really,
shows up in the
really
beginning
briefly.
and the end. She kind of saves the day again.
Laura Dern's it, babe.
She gets her husband to call,
Right.
well, whoever her husband is.
The button-down guy.
The button-down dude.
But yeah, no,
Mr. Pants.
And then you've got a Tony Award winner, an Academy Award winner, because Fargo had already come out, right?
He didn't win for Fargo.
He didn't?
No.
What did he win for?
He didn't win for anything. He's never won an Academy Award.
Oh, this was just a nominee.
Talking about William H. Macy.
Yeah.
Okay. Thought you were talking about Taya Leone.
She's never won it either.
That would make no sense.
But, yeah, it's so odd.
It was a weird cast.
And
then, there's a kid. Has he ever been in anything else?
Yeah, he was in The Sixth Sense. He was the kid that had asthma.
I only saw
Or not The Sixth Sense. Yeah, The Sixth Sense, but not the kid that had asthma. He was,
I've seen The Sixth Sense once,
He was
and
one-
that was in 1999. About a month after it came
he was in a
out.
handful of other things.
Was he?
Mostly as a child actor.
Okay.
And, you know, as I always, when I see him, I point him out. The guy from Election that had, the teacher that had sex with Tracy Flick.
Yeah. He was in the beginning.
He's Taya Leone's new man.
It's like the catalyst for the whole story.
Right.
In Election. Because
Yes.
he fucks a teenager.
And she gets him fired.
Yeah. Rightly so.
Rightly so. Because that's a dirtbag thing to do.
It is. And Matthew Broderick's in it. It's a great movie. We'll talk about that eventually. I got no complaints about that.
And I watched the Iron Man movies.
Yes.
And
without me.
Well, you weren't home.
I'm sorry.
And I came to the determination, the third one is hands down the best. Like, as good as the first one is.
You just set fire to the internet with that comment.
Iron Man 3, and this is not just a love for Shane Black.
That I think a lot of people forget he made that movie.
How can you... There's Christmas. It's very Christmas
right.
time.
Does it take place during Christmas? 99% of the time, it's a Shane Black film.
Or it was written by Shane Black, like Long Kiss Goodnight.
Right.
But...
For some reason.
No, Iron Man 3 is good because it's not him fighting a dude in a suit.
Yeah,
And
he's not even in the suit most of the movie.
Right, because
But-
he's having the panic attacks, and
It's
I think it's the best.
I mean, it's funny because that's a lot of people's complaint about the movie.
Is that he's barely in the
He's
suit.
barely in the suit. It's like, yeah, well, he created the suit in the first one. He was in the suit a lot in the second one.
Mostly.
And the third one, it's like, just have him be Tony.
Well, because he needs to show that he's more than just
He's
a
more
guy
than
in a
just-
suit.
He's more than Iron Man. Right.
Like,
and
when he goes to the compound and he's like, oh, I'm a mechanic, let's build some stuff. And he, like, builds this weird hand cannon out of, like, a CO2 cartridge.
because
And
he knows how.
right,
he can.
because he's a genius. That's the whole point.
And people hate it, but I love what they did with the Mandarin.
No, I think that's the best way to go.
And it was funny because I didn't see it come. I can't remember. No, I definitely watched trailers for it. But you watch the movie, and then after that reveal comes, you realize, like, wow, Ben Kingsley is in the trailer, like, 3 times. Ben Kingsley, he doesn't do anything in the trailer for the movie, and there's a reason for that.
Because he's not.
They're keeping it secret. No, he's not the
Because
villain.
he's not the villain.
Yeah, and it was great.
And what was the one shot that came out after that?
It was one where
in the
they
prison.
I think it was in Thor. It was in Dark World.
It was it was the short for
But it
Thor-
was
for
where-
Dark World.
He's being interviewed by someone, and it's revealed that
There actually
they're
is a Mandarin.
They're from
and
the
he's
10
pissed.
Rings. There is a Mandarin. He's pissed, and he wants to meet Ben Kingsley's character, and it just kind of retrofits.
Yeah.
You know, there is one, guys. Calm down.
And then it also ties because Justin Hammer's in the same prison,
Yeah, he's got a guy.
which I told you earlier today. I think is that
It's because he dances, right?
he dances in everything. Sam Rockwell. I've never seen a movie where that man doesn't dance at least a
Contract.
little.
Did he? We haven't seen 3 Billboards.
That's true.
Maybe he doesn't dance. But
That's why he
didn't
won.
dance. Won an Oscar.
See how it goes.
It's this whole thing. That's what's keeping him back.
But Sam Rockwell is like the only redeeming thing for me in
It's
Iron
not
Man
Mickey
2.
Rourke.
No, and it's that.
Mickey Rourke is just gross.
But that's not his fault either. The character is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's
What about Don Cheadle?
and Gary Shandling, I guess, is pretty good in
Oh, that's right.
it. Where they
Oh.
set it up for Civil War, or not Civil War, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Where you
Did they-
find out he's
Did they know
Hydra.
though? Did they
no.
know
I'm
that?
sure they didn't.
They
but
just like, hey, let's get Gary
it's like-
Shandling back.
It's like, oh wait, we had this congressman or whatever.
Let's make him part of Hydra. Oh, shit writes itself.
Well, and
And then they high-fived each other, went and got lattes.
well, because they took one of the characters from Agents of Shield too. He was in the short
The
for the. It
bald
happened on
guy.
the way to the. Yeah,
Ball guy with the he was on Shield.
he was the guy they dropped that she threw off the roof. in
Never
Winter
watched.
Soldier.
Found that out later. We watched the movie. No idea who the fuck this guy was. Apparently, he's someone important.
On that
Turns
show.
out he'd been on Agents of Shield that we never watched.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Well, to me, the actor that plays Coulson is always going to be the other lawyer from State and Maine.
This is so fucking obscure. Does anyone remember State and Maine?
I bet you David Mamet fucking
Of course,
remembers.
William H. Macy.
Whoa.
Okay, that's our connection. We'll see if we can keep it going.
See if he keeps popping up in
Keep
conversation.
popping up, yeah. And Phil, yeah. So State and Maine, Philip Seymour Hoffman,
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin,
Sarah Jessica Parker, Julia Stiles.
David Paymer.
Oh, what's his name? The guy that was the voice for Dr. Katz.
Go you Huskies.
Jonathan Katz. That's his name.
Jonathan Katz.
Go you Huskies.
Go you Huskies. What happened in '75?
Oh, it's part of a
String
spade
of
of suspicious fires, which led to the naming of the Waterford Huskies.
State and Maine. Check it out.
If you haven't seen it, seriously,
Good luck finding it.
it's definitely in my top 5 favorite movies.
It's a movie about making movies,
But
and they're mostly most of the time those are very fun movies to watch.
and it's more
And
about
it's kind of autobiographical too
yes for David Mamet.
for David Mamet.
But it's kind of it's like what happens to a small town
Yeah.
when a movie uses them as a location. And it's funny because, you know, when the film festival started, not the first year, but like years since,
Mm-hmm.
I get that vibe like every year. Like every time there's like a big name that shows up to the festival, it seems like people just lose their goddamn minds.
Panties just drop.
For Madonna?
And those were the guys. So when Kevin Clash showed up, everyone just went nuts.
You know what? You make fun, but
No,
it seemed like people did.
They did. What was I'm thinking other names in the concrete outside the theater.
Well, I know when Matt Modine shows up,
Matthew Modine. Well,
people really dig that.
The funny thing is, we were just talking about this, how we can't get Doug Benson to leave. Doug Benson shows up at our festival every year, and he's a great guy. But my God, I don't think there's enough weed in this town. But he's one of those guys that he'll just show up with his friends.
Well, right. Last year he brought Sam Levine.
Yeah, he brought Sam Levine, and I was like, that's fucking Sam Levine. We went
to the party.
We were at the opening night party,
and
which
we
is
didn't
on
even
Front
know.
Street.
He didn't
downtown.
like say, "Hey, I'm bringing," because he always brings like 2 or 3 people to do his Doug Loves Movies.
Didn't announce shit.
Or Doug Interrupts.
Doug
he doesn't do his
Interrupts.
podcast from here, but
Oh yeah.
And he always brings a couple other comedians to help him do Doug Interrupts, and he doesn't really tell anybody in advance who's coming.
No.
And we were at the party, and I was like, "That's fucking Sam Levine," and I guarantee nobody else was as excited.
And he had a beard, and he looked like an adult.
I mean, he's still a very tiny man,
He is, but
he had a full
we
beard.
saw Doug first, and then right next to him, it's
like,
fucking
that's Sam
Sam
Levine.
Levine, dude.
He was on Freaks and Geeks. And Paul Feig has been here.
He has
Connection.
Can we connect that to Macy? Probably.
Probably.
Was he on Freaks and Geeks?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
You still haven't watched them all.
I haven't.
We got as far as where
Was
they
it a
had
full season?
It was one full season, yeah.
So it was 20 episodes.
I don't even think it was a full 20.
I think I got it. I think I got to like just past the Halloween episode.
No, we watched the one where she throws the party when their parents are out of town.
Is that past? Is that after the Halloween episode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that might be the last one I
so.
watched. And this was like 5 years ago.
He doesn't want his sister and her friends to get drunk, so they switch the kegs to a non-alcoholic keg.
Right, Martin Starr in the bedroom gets drunk off the real beer.
The real beer, yeah.
And it's a whole thing.
But
I remember.
But everybody at the party pretends to be getting drunk. And
yeah,
they all act drunk.
I don't think I haven't gotten to. I didn't see the episode where Joel Hodgson shows up as like the store owner.
Right.
Because I remember being told that, and then Trace shows up in like a later episode, but I haven't. We didn't see.
Paul
those.
Feig was in an episode too.
Was he dancing?
He was playing the singer of a band.
Nice.
That what's his name? The giant motherfucker that likes puppets. Jason Segel.
Jason Rogen.
He's auditioning to be their temporary drummer.
The giant motherfucker that likes puppets. Tombstone. That's what it's going to say.
Well, it's my birthday.
Shit, man, you're funny.
That's why y'all number 1.
That's why you number 1. Anyway. Do we have anything specific to talk about?
Not. I mean, we were talking earlier, and I made you stop talking about it so we could save it.
Yeah.
Which
time?
The thing about Birds of Prey.
Just the DC movies in general?
Well, yeah, but
we could complain.
I feel like we should talk about Birds of Prey first, since that's a fresh announcement.
Because they're going to be making a Harley Quinn movie?
Well, but it's Harley is part of Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
But they're making...
Okay, what is Birds of Prey?
It's...
The comic storyline? Who knows what the fuck the movie's going to be?
Or are they going to go the way that the TV show tried to do?
The TV show that was on the WB in 2002.
Yeah.
So, in 2002... WB show, 12, 13 episodes, Birds of Prey.
Yeah,
I watched one
season.
episode. It wasn't full. It was. I definitely remember being canceled. But the comic storyline is...
I don't know. I'm not a DC person.
We don't know.
Per se.
We looked it up. It's Harley. It's...
Barbara Gordon. After her back is broken.
Right.
Or she... Because I think in that...
Because she's Batgirl.
Right. Not in Birds of Prey, though.
Yeah. She's out of commission.
She becomes something else. She's a villain, I think.
Oh.
Right?
I don't know.
Harley's their doctor, because it's before she went off the deep end, I think.
Oh.
Or it's a mix. It's like as she's going off the deep end or something.
What? So how's that going to work? Because they already did Suicide Squad.
And then I'm sure they'll make it. They'll figure it out.
There's
It's like
always some bullshit.
they were patients at Arkham while she was still a doctor.
Some bullshit reason.
Right. Gosh, who's the other one? Huntress? And
I think you said Huntress and Bruce and Catwoman's daughter. What's her name? Selena Kyle. Was it
No,
Selena?
Selena Kyle is Catwoman.
Yeah, Catwoman.
But
Catwoman and Batman have a daughter.
And somehow she's
And
like
she's
an actual
it
mutant.
says, what does it say? Metahuman?
Yeah, where she's got cat-like abilities.
Because, when I think Catwoman, I think
Halle Berry
shitty
Catwoman.
Catwoman abilities where
She likes catnip.
She likes catnip, and you fall off a shelf and land on your feet. God, that movie fucking sucked.
Yeah, it's not good.
Anyway.
And it's interesting. Like when I watched it for the first time, like 2 years ago, because I avoided it. I did watch it in Spanish.
Oh, that's right.
The first time.
Yeah.
So I had no idea what was going on. I was just like laughing at the horrible
that's fine.
CG.
That's a good way to watch it.
So I watched it, 2 years ago, and I remember thinking like, there's lots of good elements here, like the serum and having like a female villain, and maybe Sharon Stone's character also is a Catwoman. Like,
no.
Yes, there are interesting pieces, but they fucked it up so
tiny pieces.
bad.
Female villain, sure.
No,
but,
I think that the.
But the whole
Well, no, like I feel like the serum or whatever that they're dumping and it's fucking with people's faces, and she needs to take it all the time to keep her face normal.
Right.
I'm
kind of
pretty sure
that.
it's the same thing that fucked up Clayface.
Oh yeah.
In the Batman series, like he was an actor and he was obsessed with keeping his youth and his looks, and so he did this experimental testing or whatever, and then it made him into this gelatinous blob. But then he can form into whatever shape he wants, but he can only hold it for a certain amount of time.
The only thing I know about Clayface is what I remember from the cartoon,
voiced by Ron Perlman.
There you go. But God, okay, Catwoman, 2004, Halle Berry. Directed by Pitoff, who was a fucking set designer. And then he was given the reins to a fucking Catwoman movie where they literally made her have the characteristics of an actual cat.
Catnip,
cat food, or she likes tuna or some dumb shit.
She likes to sleep on the top of the cupboards now.
She purrs. Oh my fucking God. Was this written by anyone?
This is not what people want in a Catwoman movie.
That's right. I remember this at the time because Adam and I joked about it. That movie was written by like 5 different people, all of whom I believe have never seen a Catwoman comic book before, and it was just like, let's give her the characteristics of a cat because she's called Catwoman, and then she becomes a cat burglar, or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, I'm done talking about this. Birds of Prey.
But I feel like that can lead back into Birds of Prey because they gave someone with no experience,
absolutely zero experience,
the reins to make this comic book movie.
So there was a press release. They hired. Did they hire her?
They're trying to work out a contract with her.
Okay, so
what was her name? Kathy Yan.
Yes.
And
she has made
3 shorts, 1 feature. I believe it was made in China. The way that this description of the movie is, it seems like a Chinese movie.
What?
And
so, okay.
But the headline I saw,
a very strong chance that she does not speak English very well.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
But I told you, the headline I read was she could be the first Asian woman to direct a major superhero movie.
Right.
And I feel like that's the main reason they hired her, was for the press. And not just like, oh, we got a woman to make Wonder Woman. Guess what?
Guess what we got? But wait, you're DC too.
we can one up ourselves.
Oh man. It's so sad watching the ship sink.
You know what though? Sometimes
if you pull it off.
Right. If they pull it off, it's like, look at this awesome new director we found. If she screws up, well, she's inexperienced and she didn't have enough experience under her belt
we didn't like the dailies, so we fired her and got Joss
Whedon.
Ron
Howard.
Ron
and Joss
Howard.
Whedon. What?
Both
he got
combined?
saddled with Solo.
Holy shit. Yeah. It's just sad watching the sinking ship that is DC. just like grasping at whatever they can. Like, oh shit, Suicide Squad was a fucking awful movie,
But it made money.
Made a lot of money, and people seem to like Harley, so let's give her her own movie. And Margot Robbie's really hot right now, so let's
Birds of Prey was a thing before they made the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah,
but
it's like, okay, but where does this fit? If you want to create this universe, where does this fit?
That's
like, are we going to see these characters
I have
ever
always
again?
felt that is DC's main problem.
So they don't think shit through.
Well, with Marvel, it happened by accident. You know?
Yeah.
They were still sort of down and out. I mean, they were coming back as a company, but they were still kind of fucking tripping and getting back on their feet from their bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And Iron Man happened to
be
work
really good.
Right. It happened to work really well.
Like they made that themselves. And did they also make the Hulk?
No, that was that's a different company entirely.
Well, that was Marvel, but it was released through Universal, just like Iron Man was released through Paramount.
Right.
Because at the time, Universal still owned the Hulk. So Marvel was like, well, we'll make the Hulk movie for you. You can release it. And then
but because
eventually
Iron Man ended up being such a success that they had to go back and put the stinger at the end of Incredible Hulk with Tony.
Hulk came out a month later in June.
And it worked.
It worked. It got people excited. And then everyone had to wait for Iron Man 2 like 2 years later.
Right. So then what they did was they started to formulate a plan off of something that actually worked.
Yeah.
And they had already sort of teased maybe an Avengers thing with the thing at the end of Iron Man. So
maybe people want a Thor movie. Well, maybe they want a Captain America movie. Oh, they do? All right, well, let's fucking do the Avengers then. Let's go for broke. And
see, but with DC, it was like Christopher Nolan created a Batman trilogy that people seem to really like.
Grounded in reality.
Yes.
Mostly.
For the most part.
For the most part. And then
it made them money, and they thought, oh, this is working for Marvel. Can we turn this into a mass franchise thing?
Yes, we can, said some guy in a suit in a big giant office while someone...
Think of the money!
While somebody was blowing up. That's Hollywood executives.
Hollywood is all blowjobs.
It's all blowjobs and Coke. Actual Coke, not the powder. Things have changed.
They love Coca-Cola.
They love Coca-Cola. Why do you think it's at all the movie theaters?
Blowjobs.
Blowjobs and Coke.
But no, and so they rushed into
Man of Steel.
It was so funny when Marvel released their here's the titles
slate.
Their slate. Here's the titles we're gonna make. Here's the logos that we've already made up, and they plotted it out through 2025 or something.
It was
I remember Doctor Strange was on it. Inhumans was on it, but that's not going so hot.
Phases. This is their phases because they're on 3 right now, and that ends with Infinity War.
Part 1.
Yeah, and I think they went all the way up to Infinity War. Was it everything in between, or was there more than after that? It was probably
But I mean, it showed all the properties, including New Mutants and Inhumans.
Check this shit out.
New Mutants got pushed back again. Inhumans got canceled. So
because it was a TV show.
Yeah.
For 2 minutes. It was in IMAX, for fuck's sake.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think is over, or it's ending.
Still going.
I think it's this last season.
Yeah.
I don't think they knew Agent Carter was going to happen, but that happened.
I think there's a few things they didn't know was going to happen. I don't think they suspected that Guardians was going to be as big as it was.
Oh, the other thing, Legion. Legion sort of happened by accident. Technically, it's Fox, but they're working together, or Disney bought them. I'm not sure what the fuck happened with that. But Legion seems to be working. We haven't seen season 2 yet because it's only on its 3rd episode. We're gonna wait till there's more to watch.
Yeah, and then Guardians did really good, so they got to make another Guardians movie. So throw that in there somewhere.
And then we got to make sure the Guardians.
Oh shit! Black Panther was fucking awesome in Civil War.
Let's make a fucking Black Panther
his own movie. We'll explain more.
And that worked so fucking well.
That gangbusters. And then...
Well, Doctor Strange was on there. I remember
Doctor Strange was on there because that means Doctor Strange is very important in the Infinity Wars.
They knew they wanted him.
You gotta have Doctor Strange in there. And apparently at this point, you can fucking make anything work. Ant-Man.
Well, and I feel right, but I think Ant-Man was on there, but I don't think it was slated to have a sequel. I don't think they knew if that was going to do anything.
If it did, it would at least do enough.
And I'm glad we got Spidey back.
Yeah.
In the fold. That's always good.
I guess.
I would like Deadpool to... I mean, he's a sometimes Avenger.
Sexy motherfucker.
He's a sometimes Avenger. And I wish... And I mean, I know Hugh Jackman had mentioned the only way he would come back as Wolverine is if he was in there.
Wolverine,
and technically, he's an Avenger for sometimes.
Wolverine ended so perfectly, though.
Yeah, but Logan ended in the future.
What? A shitty future.
So?
The future we already know about.
So this is what happens on the way to that future.
If it's the future, then clearly nothing bad happened.
No, because maybe it's the future that
well, then they got to set up...
when Kitty changed it.
They got to set up mutants now? Oh, Christ. It's like, where the fuck have they been this whole time?
Hiding.
When New York was being attacked, where are all these mutants with awesome powers?
Hiding. They don't want to be on a registry.
Fuck you. Do something.
The Mutant Registry Act.
What are you going to do?
Do you remember that from the first movie?
What are you going to do, Wolverine? Scratch it with your claws? He's kind of useless.
Nobody heals.
You got Magneto. There's one dude that can didn't he rip the adamantium out of him in one of the comics?
I think so.
I feel like someone told me that. It's like
but that's not that's what they put on his bones because of the healing.
His bones.
Wolverine, he can grow the claws. He's also got his smell. His sense of smell, which is kind of useless.
Didn't really do much for him.
But he can crazy heal, and that's why he doesn't fucking age. It takes him forever.
It's over. Jackman's done. He's the greatest showman now.
Oh, fuck P.T. Barnum. Right up his dead ass.
Ew. Bold statement.
Well, don't take advantage of people that
deserve to be taken advantage of.
That's rude. I will say, catchy fucking songs, though.
Ugh. Terrible person,
but catchy songs in that show.
The not Baz Luhrmann movie.
Yeah, kind of.
Did you guys see Moulin Rouge? I want to make it like that.
It would have had more twinkle lights.
It would have been a fairy somewhere.
A little absinthe fairy.
Absinthe fairy, played by Kylie Minogue.
Strictly Ballroom isn't anything like that, okay?
Did he do that one too?
Yes. It's about ballroom dancing.
Does it take
competitive
place
ballroom dancing?
Strictly in a ballroom? Is that the whole setting?
No, it's a oh my God. You're never going to watch it.
I'm never going to watch it. I'm sorry. I
think he's strictly
I fucking hate Baz Luhrmann. I mean, did you ever see Australia?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
I had no interest in that. Back to Hugh Jackman.
What?
I had no interest.
Who wants to see a 3-hour movie about Australia?
I'm not a huge fan of Nicole Kidman.
Nah. Most people wouldn't admit that. But you did like To Die For.
Oh my God, I love that movie.
And I did like BMX Bandits. So.
No, To Die For is more about...
Because Joaquin Phoenix is in that, isn't he? He's one of the kids.
So's, what's his name? The horrible person that they gave an Oscar to last year.
Casey Affleck.
Yes.
That's what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in it.
He's one of the kids.
Mm-hmm. He's best friends with Joaquin Phoenix.
Never seen that whole movie.
Oh, you're missing out.
Or if I have, it was so long ago.
And what's her name? The Bug Eyes. Ileana...
Douglas.
Yes. She was in Stir of Echoes.
Yes. And millions of other things, but whatever.
And Goodfellas.
She's in Goodfellas, right?
Yes, she's in Goodfellas.
Yeah. Okay. She's one of the wives? Girlfriends?
No, she's one of the girlfriends.
You're thinking of Debbie Mazar.
No, she's in it too, but...
She's one of the girlfriends. Okay.
Ileana Douglas is in it. She's Joe Pesci's girlfriend.
Oh.
Because, Friday nights are for the wives.
Saturdays.
For the girlfriends.
For the girlfriends. What are the Sundays for?
Church.
Hangovers.
They're fucking Italian. It's for church. What's wrong with you?
They didn't go to church.
Well,
look, you don't understand Goodfellas. Okay?
Obviously.
How could you? You're a woman.
Fuck that guy and his stupid
love
headline.
that article so much.
Women don't understand Goodfellas.
I swear to God.
What's to understand?
That was written just for the press.
Like,
that was to fuel the outrage machine and get. That was probably just to get like traffic to the website so they can get all the revenue, the ad revenue.
It's like saying, Primer is not for anyone under 12.
Yeah.
They just don't get it. Well, no shit.
Well, why would they? I barely get it. I've seen that movie like 5 times. I still don't get the fuck is going on. Jesus. Clearly, I just need to watch it 6 or 7 more times.
Just to be sure.
Just to be sure.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to see Ready Player One like 5 more times. At least.
I've seen... Okay.
Just to see things.
Are we done talking about DC?
Yeah, fuck DC.
All right.
Fuck you and your stupid... No, one more complaint.
Okay.
So, you over on the CW, you got Arrow, you got Flash. They bought Supergirl after CBS canceled
that
it.
has Superman show up. And it's the kid from Road to Perdition.
Yeah.
Playing Superman. Good for him.
Nice part for him.
Nice young man.
My issue is you already had a standing TV show with The Flash.
Mm-hmm.
You decide to make a Justice League movie. The Flash is part of the Justice League. Do you cast the person that you've already had 2 seasons of a show with? No, you cast somebody else because the TV show is not affiliated with the movie.
None of the TV properties are affiliated with the movie properties.
That doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't.
Because, you're trying to copy
Like
Marvel's cinematic universe.
Everything wrong.
And that's the one thing that Marvel did that for some reason you're fucking up. It's like they made offshoot TV shows that connect. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, they connect to this. Even the Netflix shows connect.
Oh, yeah. Punisher and Jessica Jones, The Defenders.
They all talk about the events.
In
one
New York.
One of them mentioned... they mentioned Incredible Hulk because he fell into Harlem.
Yeah.
It was
Jessica Jones.
Luke Cage mentioned it.
Okay.
But it's like the movies come up.
Yeah, they're there. They just
You can see, I feel like you can see the Stark Tower in
a lot of the different ones. Luke Cage.
You can
the
see it in the
Defenders,
background.
You can see you'll see Stark Tower back there. Because there's this and the Punisher too. You can see it in the background.
Right. So why?
But for DC, they're like doing everything so wrong and it's infuriating. It's like, why are you failing so bad at this? Why are you doing all of this wrong? The reason it's working for them
is because they're tying it all together.
You're just like, no, these guys.
You are literally throwing shit at a wall.
These have nothing to do with
and
each
seeing
other.
what sticks.
It's
like you're pooping in your hand. You've got all your characters up on a wall.
No.
You're pooping in your hand. You throw the shit at the wall, and whatever character it hits, you go with.
That is an image, and I want someone to animate that.
I mean, why else would they pick Green Arrow?
It was so obscure when it came out. Like Arrow, like Green Arrow, okay, and it did well,
right?
Well enough to like, okay, let's introduce the Flash. Okay,
and that seems to be doing
let's
pretty
do
well.
that. And then it was Supergirl, but that started on
CBS. And they canceled it.
They canceled after a season.
But they had done a crossover with the Flash,
or
something. So it didn't make any sense.
The roadmap is so fucking confusing.
Right. Where with Marvel, it's like
it's streamlined.
It's like perfectly lined out. You can follow it.
You can connect. You don't have to watch everything though. You can still just watch the movies and be fine.
Right. You don't have to watch the Netflix shows if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Although
I don't really recommend kids watching The Punisher or Daredevil or Iron Fist or any of them.
Luke Cage.
Any of them.
Yeah, they're probably not. None of them are kid friendly.
None of them are for kids, which is great because otherwise Iron Fist would have been a fucking terrible movie. It would have been just PG-13 garbage. Being on Netflix though, it was
like okay.
Okay, at least it's violent.
Not great.
It's not great. People swear.
But
there's drugs. Right. Whatever.
It's not great, but it's always nice to see Rosario Dawson anywhere.
It is. And I think people hated Iron
Fist
Fist so much because it was coming off the heels of Luke Cage. Which
right,
was
you come
fucking
off
amazing.
From this amazing black character.
That was so good.
He's
from
a badass. He hates it when black people use the N-word even at each other.
Yeah.
He does not like it.
It's very stoic.
And
And
he's
then,
not sure he's even a hero, but he knows he has to intervene because he's the only one that can.
He's got to do the right thing.
Is that a Spike Lee reference?
It could be. But then the best part about the whole show is when Method Man shows up.
And we were like, oh shit, that's Method Man.
We're watching it. It was like Luke Cage goes into a store that's being robbed, but he doesn't know it's being robbed.
He's like
And
ducking out.
He's ducking out or something, and then Method Man's there, and we're thinking like, it's just
a
cameo from Method
because
Man.
they used a couple
That's
Wu-Tang
funny.
songs.
They use Wu-Tang songs, awesome, and then it turns out it's actually Method Man.
He's playing himself.
Playing himself.
And then he wrote a song.
Wrote a song
about
Luke
seeing Luke Cage. It's fucking awesome.
It's like, okay.
That's like the best cameo ever. See? Grounded in reality.
This show is great.
Right, because then he went on the radio show with Sway.
Grounded in reality for the most part. He still has indestructible skin, so.
That's true.
And Jessica Jones is really strong, and Daredevil's just Daredevil.
And Jessica Jones with her ability to drink.
Ability to drink. That's her superpower.
Hey, and she's
jump. Super strong.
She can jump really high.
She can punch.
She can have crazy, awesome, strong
crazy,
people sex.
awesome sex with Luke Cage.
Spoilers.
It's whatever.
If you haven't seen it, there's like 2 years old.
It's been about a year and a half. Get with it. But anyway, yeah, that's what Marvel's doing right. And DC is just
horribly screwing up.
Fucking stuck in the mud.
I feel like I still haven't seen Wonder Woman.
You'll
we
get
own
there.
it,
You'll get
but
there.
I'm gonna get there.
And
I've heard nothing but good things.
We've never
Gal Gadot,
seen.
I was certainly not someone I would have chosen, but people seem to enjoy her.
She's really good in it. Everyone's really good in it, and Chris Pine is awesome because
I'm
he
excited
gets
to
it.
see Robin Wright because I've heard she's really good in it.
Everyone.
And but I mean, I don't know if I've ever told you, because I've always thought. Linda Carter's awesome.
Sure.
But if they would have made it, in my mind, it would have been made in the 90s, and it would have been Lucy fucking Lawless.
Oh, yeah.
She would have been perfect Wonder Woman. I mean, she could probably still do it.
She was already Xena.
I know.
That's just too obvious. You've never seen that. Neither of us have seen Justice League.
I have no
So
desire.
that's just a fucking dumpster fire.
I mean,
of a movie.
I
want to watch it just for the curiosity of it.
I really didn't like Suicide Squad.
Oh, God. Who fucking did?
Lots of people, apparently.
That's insane.
And people will fight you.
People that like Monster energy drinks.
It seems like the fans of that movie are like the first ones to jump down your throat about why you should like it.
Yeah. And why you're just fucking Marvel fanboy.
But like... It's not. I mean, I've always been pretty open. I prefer Marvel to DC.
It was so uneven,
and it was very clear, like the reshoots to add more Joker.
Yeah, and just the music was so off. Like we just heard 8 minutes of a Queen song.
No.
Do we need another montage?
Not even that. It was like. It's like here's 30 seconds of a classic rock song, and then it's like here's another song,
here's another song, montage.
It's like Guardians came out and they were like, oh, people like old music.
Fuck,
load it up with old music.
Make it more like Guardians. Which had to have been a phrase that was said.
It's also one of those you're looking at it. It's like, what's his name, the native actor?
Yeah.
He was barely in it.
He died instantly. He was the first one to die. I don't think he had any lines.
Yeah, he had some lines.
He got shot. Oh, no, he got blown up.
Everybody else had like a, here's their origins. He just shows up.
He was the Adam Beach,
yeah.
He was the example of the collars or the trackers that they put on them.
Yeah.
He tried to escape, and they set it off, and he just fucking
his head
blew
exploded.
Up. And I was like...
Jai Courtney's character's fucking worthless. Please stop...
Boomerang?
Please stop putting Jai Courtney in things.
I think everyone in that movie was worthless. Anyway.
No, Deadshot wasn't worthless. He was like the only one that wasn't.
Well, and the Flame guy.
Yeah, but he wouldn't do his thing.
Killer Croc. He did in the end, and then he died. Is he really dead?
I don't know.
Fucking figure it out. We're making 8 more of these.
Right, Will Smith was like the only
it's like Will
good
Smith
thing in it.
trying his hardest, as he always does.
Yeah.
Just like in Bright.
And I mean, Margot Robbie was okay as Harley, but it's like...
She was like the only one that got it.
It's right, who seem to be having fun.
Yeah.
Not taking it too seriously.
Like Jared Leto took it way too seriously.
I agree. Like he sent them
there was so
weird
much
gifts. Here's a vial of blood.
There was
and
so
used
much
condoms and stuff. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Like when I saw the trailer for it and I saw like the car he was driving was like covered in neon and spray painted glittery, I was like, oh my god, I'm having like Batman and Robin flashbacks. Like this looks fucking terrible. They learned nothing. Turns out they didn't.
And it also seems
and it was
like
all dark and like depressing.
and
everyone just seemed sweaty and gross.
And there's a lot of really major story things that seem to be missing. You know what I mean?
We could talk about this forever.
Like,
but
why is she in love with him?
I want to know why the black lady was even in a position of power in the first place, because this was entirely her fault.
Yeah.
Like,
because that being wouldn't have gotten out if you weren't using it. If you weren't
fucking around with it, nothing would have happened. This is entirely your fault, but you're still, well, that's a politician for you, I guess.
I guess.
I did nothing wrong. Anyway.
Yeah. It's
So DC is stumbling. Like their biggest hit right now is Wonder Woman. Before that it was I think Batman vs Superman, but even that.
You don't think the Nolan Batmans were
They're not connected.
No, I know, but they are DC.
Yeah. But that was because of him and all the shit that he did that made them work.
Because he has such a grand vision.
Because he had like, I have these ideas, just let me do them, because I'm actually a good filmmaker.
Yeah.
For the most part. I can't direct fight scenes for shit.
Just whoosh, 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 and you hear some hitting. You just assume there's punches.
I mean,
landing.
It's seriously. Give Zack Snyder some credit for one thing. In Batman vs Superman, it's making Batman able to fight very well.
This
and then
there's the whole thing.
There's like the Batman doesn't kill people. It's like, I don't fucking care. These scenes are choreographed so well. It's like, holy shit, Batman is awesome.
My problem
when you watch Christopher Nolan's Batman fight scenes, they're all like master shots of Batman punching people, and they're confusing as fuck.
The only fight scene that I really liked in the Nolan ones is the one with him and Bane, where Bane's just beating the shit out of him.
Which time?
The first time.
Yeah.
When he breaks his back.
Right. Those were good, but they're not very well choreographed.
Well, I think that one, it seems like you can see it more because it's just the two of them. They're not outside. It's not dark.
Yeah.
It's not 20 guys. Like the second fight when they're fighting outside and all the cops.
Groups of people. Yeah.
All the cops show up to fight. And it's like, that's more distracting. So.
And none of it made any sense in the end of Dark Knight Rises. Like, wait, the cops have been underground for how long?
And they're ready to go?
They're just ready to go, but they've been feeding them? Why? And whatever. Don't worry about it. Anyway.
You know my issues with
But
movies.
In Batman vs. Superman, yes.
See, my problem that DC has never really addressed in the movies is that Batman at heart is a detective.
Yeah.
And
but he does do detective work in
the Michael Keaton ones.
Some of the movies. He did it in, To Find the Joker. He did some stuff. And it was like the leap of logic type shit where it's like, wait, how the fuck? You didn't figure that. Come on.
He's supposed to be Sherlock Holmes with money. Okay?
Anyway.
And I think, and it's you're gonna think this is ridiculous, but I feel like the TV show did that really well. I'm not talking about the animated. I'm talking about Adam West, where he was mostly a detective, and then he just had stupid fucking gadgets.
Uh-huh.
But it was always like him and Robin in the Batcave, like solving
figuring
puzzles.
Shit out.
Yeah. Like they had the Bat computer, and they were sitting there solving crime. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just, let's show up and punch people.
Show up and punch. Punch about. Yeah.
They need...
They'll get that.
Which I think is
because that aspect's fucking boring.
I think that's why I like the Michael Keaton Batman movies, the Tim Burton ones, because it's a good mix of the two.
The two
where
Batman
it
movies?
Definitely shows him in the Batcave working on his computer, like trying to figure out who Jack Napier is and the Joker and putting that together. But there's also a lot of like, I'm going to punch you in the face.
There had to be.
To save Vicky Vale.
Have a fucking dude in a bat cave sitting in front of a computer, like all this awesome shit behind him, but pay no attention to that because I'm trying to figure out. This is like, that would be the movie if Kevin Smith made it.
It would just be him in the cave.
Him in the
like
bat cave.
In front of a computer.
In front of the computer, like trying to solve a mystery.
Oh my god, I kind of want to see Kevin Smith make a Batman movie now.
But yeah, like the fucking bat wing, the bat wing, and all the suit and the car and like all this awesome shit is just sitting back there, and it doesn't get utilized at all.
He's just sitting in front of a computer
because he's just sitting in front of the computer with Alfred, and they're just having this awesome conversation about trying to solve mysteries. And
I think I would watch that.
I would watch it. That could be a stage play. How about that? Could we make a stage play?
Yes, because you could just do a backdrop that was like a painting.
Yeah, it was like stalagmites and stalactites and shit.
That could be like
the occasional bat flying around.
That
like,
could
on
be
a
a
pole.
one-room stage play.
It could be.
Oh,
hey, how about that?
We're gonna write this.
How about that?
I like this.
Just a little Batman solving mysteries,
like
in his cave.
Yeah, it's like his suit hanging on a hanger behind him.
Literally, like the most. Like if it was a movie, the most expensive thing would be just the background and like
the stuff in the background.
Stuff in the background. Like that's an $80,000 fucking prop.
Alfred like appearing out of like a elevator in the rock.
Like the fucking walkway is way up at the top of the. If it is stage play, it's way up on top, and he has to walk down the like metal stairs.
I'm writing this down.
And there's a moat. There's water.
Batman.
Batman's
detective
stage
play. I can't read my handwriting. Hopefully we can translate that tomorrow.
It's all you. There you go. Kevin Smith. Make it happen.
Well, I mean...
Recovering from that heart attack. You gotta do something.
Well, shit. They've been... Because of the Smodcast, I mean, they made Tusk. They made Yoga Hosers. They got a third one coming.
Moose Jaw.
Moose Jaw. Moose Knuckle.
Moose... It's not Moose Knuckle. That's probably already a movie.
But because they can,
yeah,
they make it themselves. They can afford to now. They just make things that they think are funny.
That wouldn't cost like hardly anything if it was a stage.
Right. I mean, like I think Tusk and Yoga Hosers didn't hardly cost anything for them either.
Probably not.
It was like paying the actors, really. And I mean, in Yoga Hosers, it's just
there's some effects in it.
It's his daughter and Johnny Depp's kid.
And him. Because he shaved his beard off to do like effects or something.
Johnny Depp came back. He was in both. Justin Long came back, played a different character.
Yeah. But
Haley Joel Osment came back and played a different character.
Could totally make this happen. What would it be?
If anybody could do it, it would be him.
That would be fun.
It'd be him and Mosier.
I want to see him or David Mamet write a stage play.
Mamet would be so serious.
A stage play. Right. But get them together. Kevin Smith could do the humor. David Mamet
can write humor.
Yeah, but it's kind of like really insulting humor.
Coffee's for closers.
Put that fucking coffee down. Coffee is for closers.
A, B, C. Always be closing.
Cobbling. Yeah, okay. We'll forward this to them. All we want is like credit.
Yeah, just like story idea by Joe and Patti.
Joe and Patti. Do what you will with it. Here's an idea, just floating it out there on a raft, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Okay.
I'm not your friend, buddy.
Yeah, that would be fucking fascinating.
I'd love that.
Opening off Broadway, soon to move on to Broadway. Soon to take over Broadway. Look out, Booker Mormon. And
it's Hamilton now.
Hamilton,
it's the big one.
Both of them. What if you combined musicals? Have they ever thought about doing that?
The Book of Hamilton.
The Book of Hamilton?
I'm sure somebody's done that. Like a mashup.
Like all Hamilton actors, but in Mormon clothes.
Interesting.
That's the fucking Lion King comes out. Like, let's just have a mashup musical. Like a fuck all Phantom of the Opera comes down.
The people from Rent.
Oh God, all the people from AIDS.
Rent's not still.
Is Rent?
I think that closed finally.
Rent closed.
Cats closed.
Cats.
Chicago, I think, is still going.
Hairspray. What about the producers? Is that done?
I think that's done. I think there's a Mean Girls musical right now. There was a Young Frankenstein, but I think that's gone. Spamalot, I think, is still running.
Wow. What was going on? Was it Spamalot when you were in New York?
Spamalot was going on. Wicked was still
Like
there.
you could have gotten tickets to?
Wicked was what we could have gotten tickets
Wicked.
to. I tried to convince my mom that we should go pick up our tickets for Chicago, scalp them. This is such a nerdy thing, especially because we've already talked about David Mamet.
Do it.
There was a new David Mamet show playing, and
I'm going to guess your mom had no idea who it was.
Correct. And it had Eddie Izzard in it, and I wanted to go so bad, but it was super serious sounding. It was like I can't remember exactly what happened, but it was like a couple was splitting up, and he had cheated on her, and Eddie Izzard was like the guy's lawyer. It was like a 3-person play.
Ooh.
Like a small, well, because most of his movies are small, or his plays are small. And I think it was like Morris Chestnut or somebody playing the husband. It was somebody like, oh my God, I know him. He's a handsome black man.
I know these people.
I honestly, it was either Morris Chestnut or
Tay Diggs.
No.
Ah.
Somebody older than Tay Diggs.
Tay Diggs is like in his 40s.
Is he really?
Probably. Man.
I know. Chadwick Boseman's almost 50.
It's crazy. He's like 42.
He's older than he looks.
Yeah. But that's fine.
Like, he looks like him and Michael B. Jordan should be about the same age.
They do! Michael B. Jordan's like 26.
It's crazy.
He's got a good career ahead of him.
Yes, he does. Oh, God, knock wood. Why would you say something like that?
Play a teenager when you're 40. You probably still could.
Yeah. Now I gotta look it up. I don't even remember the name of the play. It was like a one-word title, like Fury or
Sad.
Fight or something.
Sad, miserable.
But I mean, that would have been such like a downer. We go to New York to watch Chicago because I
Yeah.
won that contest.
Oh, yeah.
And instead of going to see Chicago, which we knew what we were getting into, we could have seen this courtroom
Whatever.
marriage
Maybe.
show.
Could take place in a bedroom. Who knows?
But Eddie Izzard.
Yeah, he's good. He's an executive transvestite.
He's amazing. Eddie Izzard he can pull off a dress better than most women.
High heels, too.
Yes.
He did that entire stand-up special wearing fucking heels, man.
Yeah.
Walking around. Look tough.
He was my favorite part of Ocean's 12.
He's my favorite part of most stuff that I watch. He was my favorite part of the Avengers movie with Ray Fiennes and Sean Connery
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
Uma
a thing.
Thurman. He was in that. He had one line. It was the best line of the whole... No, he didn't even have one line. It was one word. He said one word in the whole movie, and it was shit. It was right before he died. And that was the only part of the movie I
think I remember
remember
that,
and
'cause
laughed at.
I've only seen it once, and
Oh, God.
I think I saw it at the drive-in. I think it was a summer movie,
Jesus.
right?
Yeah, it was late summer.
I'm pretty sure I saw that at the drive-in.
Yeah, we watched that in the theater, and we were just fucking like, I think it was Ian, me, Travis. We watched it, and it was just like, what the fuck?
That was around the
going
time
on?
there was a lot of resurgence of like, let's make all these old TV shows.
But that one was a British TV show, and really had no right being like, this is the Avengers. This is British. No one in America really cares about it.
like
But-
Tintin and
Yeah.
Paddington.
Yeah.
Except me, I'm like the only one.
Yeah, and then but let's make this big fuck all movie with Sean Connery in it, who didn't fucking care at all. He was there for like 2 weeks.
Right, and Uma Thurman
he totally brandoed the whole fucking movie.
Right.
And-
It's got good stars. I remember the
really good
costumes being good.
But
The cars
movie
are
itself
good.
was so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And I think that might have to do with like that's kind of like what the show was like. But I didn't know that because I never seen the show.
It's like it's one of the things that like the TV show Get Smart
Like if they
was
made
parodying.
like Doctor Who. I don't watch Doctor Who. Like, but if
See,
they made
but
a
a lot
Doctor
of Americans
but if
now
they made
do
a-
watch Doctor Who.
Right. If they made an American Doctor Who movie, I don't fucking know what's going on. What is this? What's happening?
But we did watch Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah. That
I
was
guess it was an American TV show, wasn't it?
yeah. Yeah, because he was an American spy and a Russian agent, and they were
Right, which makes the movie even funnier
because Armie Hammer is the
Who's
Russian spy, but he's American as fuck.
And then
Henry Cavill
is British, but he's playing the American.
Sterling Archer in the
and
flesh.
then what's her name? What the fuck is her name? She was in Logan Lucky. She was their sister.
Amber something.
The redhead.
The redhead bird. I don't remember.
Yeah, she's
in?
the chick.
She's the
I'm
lady.
pretty sure she's the lady in that.
God, I don't remember.
Me neither. We only saw it once. I remember it was good. I didn't dislike it.
We watched it while our kid was sleeping.
Right, so we couldn't watch it loud.
No.
I didn't dislike it.
Yeah, it was good. It was well made. It was fun.
And now Armie Hammer.
But I never watched the TV show again. So
my mom asked me about it because she used to watch the show. She's like, "Was that movie any good?" Well, it's okay.
It was good. It's Guy Ritchie. Money was spent.
See, this is probably why I like the Green Hornet movie and nobody else does. Because I actually, when FX was a brand new channel, they didn't have any of their own program. They had like the morning show.
Yeah.
They used to show the original Batman show, the 1960s Batman show, and the Green Hornet.
Get Smart.
They did show Get Smart. But oh man, watching those Green Hornets, like, it got me super addicted to that show. And I think that's why I like the movie. And Seth Rogen is like the worst part.
I mean, I don't know.
It's not that he was bad as Britt Reed. He's Seth
too Rogen.
He's
as
too
Britt Reed.
Seth
Yeah.
Rogen-y.
He's too Seth
He wasn't
Rogen-y.
serious enough.
I mean, at least he lost weight for it and took it seriously.
Well, because he produced it. Like, that was something he really wanted to make.
But who's the director?
Michel Gondry. Which was really
Very
out of his
strange.
wheelhouse.
I don't think he's done anything that
Mainstream.
since.
No.
But
That's like his most mainstream
it
he's
is,
ever gone.
and it's just strange. Like, what? This is a weird movie when you think about it. It stars Seth Rogen. Who plays Kato? He's a pop singer.
He's like a pop singer, but he's like one of their biggest stars.
Yeah, and then directed by Michel Gondry. David Harbour's in it. James Franco's in it for like 5 seconds.
What's his name? Christoph
Waltz is the villain.
And Eddie Furlong, right before he got arrested.
Really?
He filmed it, and like he got arrested the day after the premiere.
He was in that? What
yeah,
was he?
he was the one. He's the one like meth maker that he leaves alive.
Oh my
to
God!
go
Are
tell
you
him.
serious? I never noticed that was.
Are you fucking kidding?
I don't think so.
No, like they bust up the meth lab.
Yeah.
And then.
Oh God! Cameron Diaz is in that too.
Yeah. His
Holy
assistant.
Shit. Wow.
And Edward James Olmos.
I have forgotten so much.
But no, they bust into the meth lab, and he's like picking up. He's like, "Oh fuck, we killed everybody."
Mm-hmm.
And then he finds Edward Furlong like crouching,
mm-hmm.
and he pulls out a fucking business card and is like, "Tell your boss, I'm in charge of this town now," and like leaves. And then he goes, and then Christoph Waltz accidentally kills him because he slams the gun on the table and shoots him.
Oh my God, I do not remember that.
Yes, it's Eddie Furlong, and he got arrested, like. At the premiere or like right after is when he got arrested.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It was just an interesting like, oh my God, that's Eddie Furlong.
I don't really remember that at all. Oh,
well, that's sad.
I only saw the movie once.
Oh,
I don't think I haven't seen it since.
We own it.
We own it, and you already watched it. So
I did already watch it.
But
again,
oh my God, again, I forget that we own it until I like look at our collection, because it's a dark case with dark green letters on it. And every time I scan through the movies, I always
skip right over it. It is next to Green Zone.
It's next to Green Zone, which I hold in higher regard, I guess.
Fuck you. How about?
I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I love that movie.
But yeah, so I'm in the minority because it's one of those TV shows that people now don't care about.
Yeah. But he was also... How is he related to the Lone Ranger?
Oh, he's...
The Green Hornet.
He's the Lone Ranger's... It's like great-grandnephew. Because the Lone Ranger never had any kids, but he did have a brother who had a kid. And it's like through that line.
Yeah.
He's a nephew of however many greats or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they were both radio shows created by the same person.
In the 30s? 30s or 40s.
40s, I think. And I think it was a Detroit radio station. I know it was a Michigan station, but I think it was he was from Detroit. But he created both of those characters. And they tie together.
Because
he can.
Because why not?
Well, they both have the same last name.
What is it?
Reed.
Reed? The Lone Ranger's name?
Mm-hmm.
What's his first name?
I couldn't tell you. But I know that his last name is Reed. They have the same last name.
You got that coming up, too. The Lone Ranger.
Yeah, and that's another. It's so disappointing in the sense that like so I just watched John Carter
Yes.
because John Carter, and reading the trivia, it makes a lot of sense. Nuts with the budget and
Insane with power.
oh, I'm making a live action, and he went.
How much money you're giving me? Fuck.
But he
It's like giving the keys of the kingdom and making an okay movie, but it wasn't really a movie anyone cared to see.
right because it was something he loved. He thought,
Yeah.
oh, other people love John Carter of Mars, or it was Princess of Mars.
Princess of
is the name of the
Mars.
story. Everybody's gonna love this.
Everyone already knows what this is. Make the trailers vague. Everyone already knows.
Right, and he
Come to find
he
out-
made them omit so much from the trailers, which led to pitiful box office
It's a whole thing.
because it's not a
Well,
bad
the marketing
movie.
for it was not great. But the thing that always killed me was the poster for the movie is so fucking lame. It's so
It's like
boring.
it's his initials.
It's just like John Carter in Arial black, bold, and that's it. That's your title,
right.
and that's the poster you're going with. And I forget what the DVD poster is way worse because it's like him fighting the monsters.
Yeah,
It's like what context is this? Okay, so he fights monsters in the what?
it's that poster
this
was
a s-
when it was he's fighting the white apes.
Yeah, it's like, is this a fucking Sci-Fi Channel movie? What am I in store
Right.
for when I watch this movie?
And I mean-
and then I'll start watching it and then realize this movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
I have read Princess of Mars,
Yeah,
but I feel like of his properties, Tarzan is way more famous.
yeah.
Of all of the book, all the things he wrote, Tarzan is more famous.
And then they made a Tarzan movie, and that sucked too.
Yeah.
Did it? I never saw it.
Yeah, they'll try again. You know they
Try
will.
again, because no one.
But-
that again, that's a thing. Like, let's make a Tarzan movie. Why? Who's gonna care?
Right.
No one is gonna
That
care.
book is like 100 years old. Nobody cares.
It's been made into a movie like 800 fucking times. No one cares about Tarzan.
Part of the trivia is that the reason people stopped being interested in making the project because Disney had the rights to make this as a movie for years. But people kept backing out because everybody has stolen things
Yeah.
from the original story.
Because it was a book in like 1930?
30.
The 30s. It's been a book for almost.
Right. George Lucas took
for Star
a crap
Wars.
ton of it for Star Wars. And
Like most sci-fi movies have taken shit, so it's been such a
right. So by the time it comes out, it's like, oh, it's ripping off all these other movies. It's like, no,
yeah. Right. It's
all
been-
those other things stole things from this story.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not a bad movie. It completely failed.
Yeah.
But luckily, they still had faith in Brad Bird to keep giving him money to make things.
Yeah.
Because he's still a good director.
No. It wasn't Brad Bird.
Yes, it was.
No, it was
Oh, no, it's not Brad Bird. It's the other one.
Oh, he made
It's the guy that directed Finding Nemo.
he made Wall-E.
Yeah, same guy.
Uh
It's not Brad Bird. Shit. Andrew Stanton.
yes.
It was Andrew Stanton.
Wasn't even close.
But they trusted in him to let him keep making
Uh-huh.
things.
So then he made
I don't know. He's still
he just made something for Pixar again. I thought he made something else for Pixar.
Monsters University probably because didn't he direct Monsters Inc?
Is that or Finding Dory? I think it might have been Finding Dory.
Well, because he did Finding Nemo. I think.
Yeah. No,
No,
I don't think he did
I
Finding
can't
Nemo.
remember.
Yeah.
He still
He's
works for
still
Disney.
around.
They let him make mistakes.
He
and
went
he's
back.
Still around.
He went back to Pixar. They're like, come on back, give him a hug. Here
but
you go, buddy.
you know, that movie, a lot of the problems that it didn't succeed, that's what we just talked about.
yeah.
But coming back to the
Go to
Lone
the Lone
Ranger,
Ranger.
a lot of the marketing was
Whole new set of
based
problems.
around, I don't even know.
Subway, right?
Oh, God, fuck you with your Subway fucking tie-in. This movie takes place in the Old West.
What? I don't think at any point in the movie someone stops and eats a fucking sandwich. Why would you tie anyway?
And, you know, I remember being super against it.
But it was based off of Tonto.
Well, it's you know, it's the Lone Ranger,
Yeah.
which, okay, I'm down for. I have no problem with that.
It's directed by Gore Verbinski.
Who
I'm on board.
who knows how to do
He
what
knows
he's
how to
doing.
do shit. Yeah.
My problem was and always has been Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, personal issues of Johnny Depp's aside, wife beating and what have you, because, you know, he's a piece of shit.
What have you?
I don't understand. There are plenty of
actual Native
Americans.
More Native than Johnny Depp.
Because he doesn't even know if he's Native or not.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I could be. Fuck you.
Well, the reasoning I've always thought was there's no fucking way they're going to make this $200 million movie and not have a star, which I get, because I fucking hate it when I see, like, John Carter.
Taylor Kitsch.
That's not a star.
See, but in the trivia, he talked about he wanted people that weren't big names because he didn't want that to be the reason people came to see it. He didn't want a Johnny Depp that's like, oh, that's the only reason that people came to see it is because it's a Johnny Depp movie.
Maybe he probably should have.
Right, in hindsight.
He
probably should have.
But with the Lone Ranger, it was, well, we need a star. You just work with Johnny Depp on 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Work with him again. We'll get Jerry Brock. Well, and the whole marketing was like from the team that brought you Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
It's like, that's not important. I don't fucking care. It'll work on its own merit if it looks good. And it did.
See, but
then they got the guy from Social Network to play.
Oh, Armie Hammer.
To play the Lone Ranger. Good for him.
I'm happy.
He's still around.
I was going to say, I'm happy that Call Me By Your Name did so well because I want success for Armie Hammer.
He did good.
He's a good actor. He's handsome. I haven't heard of him ever getting into trouble.
Honestly, when the first time I saw Social Network.
You thought he was twins?
I made it about halfway through that movie before realizing he's not actually, that's not actually twins. This is a David Fincher movie. That is one guy playing 2 parts.
Yes.
And they just expertly and that's what it was.
Yeah, they found like the perfect body double for Armie Hammer.
And it was just like, God damn it. He had me for half the movie until I figured it out. Because I genuinely thought, like, they actually got twins. That's cool. No.
Plus, I mean, I don't think the Winklevoss twins are nearly as good looking as Armie
They're
Hammer.
not. They're fucking nerdies. They're not nerds. They're jocks. I
well,
don't know. Careful,
Zuckerberg
they might sue us.
He's not as good looking as
Jesse Eisenberg's not.
I know.
I don't think. No, what's his name? Who Timberlake played?
Oh, Napster.
Napster dude. He looks nothing.
Sean...
Sean, whatever. He looks nothing like him. But it was funny. It's like,
that's a good looking cast. When you really think
Andrew
back.
Garfield.
Andrew Garfield's in
Rooney
it.
Mara.
Yeah, that's a good looking cast.
And Jesse Eisenberg. And then there's little Jesse Eisenberg.
Little Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, what's her name is in it too?
What's her name?
Anne from Parks and Rec.
Rashida Jones.
Yes, she is a lawyer.
Quincy Jones's daughter.
Spawn.
Yeah, man, that's.
But
what? I'm sorry. We were talking about famous people Spawn.
Oh.
And I was just thinking about like in Logan Lucky, because I can't think of who her parents are, but they're somebody famous. Like she's the daughter of somebody famous, and then the two brothers. One of them is Meg Ryan's kid.
Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan, right?
And then and the other one is somebody else famous's kid.
Yeah.
It's like just weird.
Like what did he do to get that cast together? Want to be in this movie?
He just asked. He's Steven Soderbergh. He just asked.
But anyway,
Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger. And it was also very long. And
right, and
there's so much in it that could be like, this could be cut. Like, do we need, like, they leave the mines, and then they come back to the mines like 30 minutes later to get into more trouble, and then
there's a lot that could be cut.
Just like streamline your story better.
And
I mean, I know it's hard because like everyone's riding horses, everything takes forever.
We saw
Everyone's walking
because we were at your family reunion and it was so goddamn hot.
Yeah.
And everybody was outside and it was like, screw this, let's go see a movie. And we took your nieces with us.
Yeah, we drove to the theater and we saw it. I enjoyed it.
I didn't hate it. It's Johnny Depp is my biggest problem. Like Barry Pepper's good.
That's right.
Helena Bonham Carter is pretty good. Like she used to be a dancer, but then she lost her leg. Now she runs a brothel. Like that's kind of fun.
A gun in her leg. Whatever.
What's his name? Fitchner.
Yeah.
William Fitchner.
Yeah.
Is in it.
It's
like
It's a good movie.
It
Because
just
Gore Verbinski doesn't make terrible films.
they're always entertaining.
They're entertaining movies, but that one was just like they spent
but it
so
seemed
much. They spent so much money.
The marketing for it was all just like from the director, producer, and star of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Hans Zimmer, fucking awesome score, great cinematography,
It's well shot,
great effects, great everything. And then I don't think Johnny Depp's the weak part. The whole movie as a whole is the movie as a whole is just you know,
it's okay.
But the last like action scene on the trains was awesome. Like that was good.
See, but that's the thing though. Armie Hammer as the Lone Ranger was really good.
He was okay.
The person that played his brother was somebody too.
It's James Badge Dale.
That's right.
You got to say the full name. You can't just say James Dale.
From Iron Man 3.
God, it was Iron Man 3, the third season of 24. He was also in that summer. He was in World War Z.
Yeah, he's been in lots of things.
He was in 3 movies.
He's one of those actors.
He's a chameleon.
You're like, oh, that's the guy from that thing.
But I'll always like, oh, that's the dude from season 3 of 24, because that was the first thing I ever saw him in. And
but yeah,
then he kind of went away, but then he came back.
He just blends in.
And he was in Stretch.
That's right.
He was the undercover guy.
Yeah.
In Stretch.
God, I forgot about Stretch.
He was awesome in that.
McTiernan.
No.
That wasn't McTiernan? No, that was what's his name?
A-Team and Smoking Aces.
Yeah.
Joe Carnahan.
There you go.
But yeah, he was in that. He's just in tons of stuff. I just saw him in a movie called Spectral, which he starred in. That was nice to see.
That was a Netflix original, right? It's just on Netflix?
It was produced by Universal, but then Netflix bought it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I think that's what happened with Cloverfield Paradox.
Yes.
Somebody else made it. They just bought it.
They bought it. But it was just like, oh, he's starring in this? Good for him. And he's good. So, yeah. Good for him being in stuff. Realizing that you're a character actor.
And just
keep
rolling with it.
Keep on rolling with it, man. But yeah, he's his brother in the Lone Ranger who gets shot.
But yeah, there's a lot of people that's like, they have like one line. You're like, oh, it's that guy. Like Stephen Root, I think, is in it.
He is. He's like one of the business guys.
Yeah.
That gets shot at the end. Oh, no, he doesn't get shot. He does get shot, but he survives.
Yeah.
He's one of the town's
But yeah, like
mayors.
Barry Pepper is like the military
Barry Pepper shows
dudes.
up like an hour and a half into the movie.
And see, but these are all actors that for other people they're like, who the fuck are they talking about?
And I swear Barry Pepper played the same part he played in True Grit.
Yeah.
Where in True Grit, he didn't show up until the last 10 minutes.
It's like the same costume, the same mustache.
Yeah. He's in the military. I don't know.
Oh,
He's
Barry Pepper.
But good for him. The Rock showed up. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He's not in that one. He's in everything else, but not that one.
Should we talk about
Solo?
I was gonna say Ready Player One.
Do you want to? Yeah. Well, all right. Fine. We watched Ready Player One.
We did. We watched it sans toddler, which was nice.
I wanted to watch it
but God, I was upset. It was pretty
loud.
late for me.
It was loud.
Late and loud.
I mean, it was only like, I think it was like 1 o'clock when it got out, but we didn't get home till about 2. Because we were out of town when the movie came out. We were showing it at the theater I work at, and I didn't want to see anything.
Right, because
so
we had managed to avoid
pretty much
trailers and TV spots. Yeah. I mean, I've read the book.
Yeah.
But which didn't really matter.
No, but I had avoided most of the trailers. I didn't want to see anything. And I didn't want, it's a movie I'm going to see anyway.
Right,
Spielberg. This is the plot. Okay, I'll fucking go watch it. I don't need to see anything else. And so we get back, and there was like no good time for us to watch it.
Right, like normally we would go in the morning before some shows and maybe watch it.
But it being at the theater it was at, we couldn't.
Instead of the other theater.
Instead of the other theater, we couldn't go in and watch it. So I literally had to wait. I came into work Friday. I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then we watched it Tuesday night. So for those 4 days, I had to avoid. Yeah. I would start the movie and then literally turn my back.
So you heard like music.
I had to. It was so loud. Like I had the monitor in the booth turned down, but I could still hear the movie.
So could you hear when he activated the Zemeckis cube?
No, I couldn't hear that at all. I just hear rumbles and music. I could kind of hear talking.
Spoilers. I'll put a tag, but spoilers, obviously.
Spoilers. Yeah. But no, I didn't hear. I just heard rumbles and mumbling of people talking, but knew nothing. Like the whole Shining scene, knew nothing about that. It's fucking awesome.
Which, and I mean, and to be fair, I didn't either because in the book it was War Games. Book.
Yeah, well, that's not nearly as cool.
Right, it's not nearly as exciting. It's way nerdier, which I think says more about Ernest Cline than anything else.
Right. Make it The Shining. We own the rights to The Shining. This is Warner Brothers.
Sure.
We can do that.
And I think
how they did it.
And I think that was the best scene in the whole movie.
It was, because it was like, how did they do this? Like, is that real?
Oh yeah, no.
Or did they recreate it in the computer?
The bathtub scene.
That's the woman.
That was that. Like while H is standing in the doorway, and the woman stands up. Like that is just a movie.
From the movie, they
just laid the animation over top of that movie,
yeah.
And then when they're hugging, when H is hugging the woman
and looks in the mirror,
and she starts to decompose, that's when it all just becomes computer.
Yeah, because that's when it becomes.
I think
challenge.
part of the room where Jack's typewriter was real, but then as they approach the typewriter, it becomes.
It was just so.
It was well done,
phenomenal. Like all this, like the
See,
kitchen.
But that's like the flirting with the uncanny valley. Like I told you on the way home, that it's like that's where it works because you can't tell.
Yeah.
Which parts are.
The characters are characters. They're the characters in the game. They look like that. It's a game.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be photoreal. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a video game universe, whatever.
The one that really looked uncanny valley for me, like almost too realistic, was when he was the wizard, the other guy, the guy that played.
Yeah.
What's his name?
It starts with an H. Harnigan.
I can't remember. See how instantly I forget. But the dude from Bridge of Spies, like it looked too.
Well, again, it was a game. Whatever.
Real. And I guess, of course, his character would look the most real because he created it.
Yeah.
Halliday.
Halliday. He's a wizard. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed that it was a movie that, having seen so many movies over the years, was literally something I prepared my whole life to see. And to just, like, get every reference thrown at you.
Well, some of the video game stuff I feel like might have been lost on you.
Kind of. But, like, when we watched it, there's so much to take in.
There's so much to look at.
It's impossible to take it all in the first viewing. You watch it, like I didn't watch it again.
Well, and that's the other thing. We both saw different
things. I didn't see RoboCop.
You didn't see RoboCop.
You didn't see the Pork Chop Express.
Right. I pointed out like 4 different Harleys in the dance club.
I didn't see the A-Team van.
But I saw Battletoads in the end fight.
You saw Battletoads. The end fight is insane. Like,
and I didn't mention it.
Oh, you didn't see? I saw the Tremors, the worm from Tremors.
I didn't mention it at the time, but I'm pretty sure I saw the loader from Aliens.
Oh yeah.
I'm positive I saw it from
the end battle.
Back. Yeah.
Okay.
I would have to see it again to be sure, but I'm pretty sure I saw it.
That makes sense. I saw Bender from Breakfast Club was one of the avatars.
But yeah, there's a lot of.
There's so. Oh, you didn't see Doc Brown.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many. You need to watch it again just to like see all the detail.
I think Chun-Li is in there from Street Fighter.
Probably.
I think there's a Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that the reason it took so long is obviously like securing the rights and animating all of it.
I mean, it's
entertaining.
It's entertaining.
I'll give you that.
I just liked it.
I didn't like it.
It was an adventure movie. It was a different type of. It was something. I don't know if you could call it original.
No.
Because of all the.
It's almost
pop culture.
Cannibalistic.
Yeah.
Retro cannibalism.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Maybe.
It's Spielberg, and there's a lot of things that were his movies anyway, or movies he produced.
It had a hand in, yeah. And I don't want to say original, but it was just fun to see something so imaginative.
I think that's why the book did so well too, is that it's clearly made for people around our age.
Because like,
I mean, even though it's a young adult novel,
is it?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know.
But Ernest Cline's in his early 40s or mid 40s, so he's not that much older than us.
I mean, it's like you jumping like from movies to other movies. It's kind of like a Looney Tunes type thing where they jump into artwork.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I just thought it was impressive to see all that work and what these guys, these animators did.
I can
And
agree
not
with
just
that.
like animating and getting the rights first,
Yes.
then animating. Because, I mean, you're
Right, I can't...
fucked if you animate this scene that costs millions of dollars and takes 8 months, and then you realize, oh, well, they're not going to give us the rights to this. And like, well,
See,
we don't
that's-
have the rights to Freddy anymore, so we can't use that. It's like, but we just spent 8 months. It's like, we'll take it out.
Well, right, Freddy and Jason were both in there.
Yeah.
But, no, like, I want to get it on a home video release, and I want to listen to commentary, because I want to know what else that Ernest Cline and Zach Penn came up with that they couldn't get the rights to.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if they'll even be able to talk about that. Like, oh, we wanted...
Yeah, you could talk about that.
We wanted, X, Y, and Z, but Fox was being real dicks about it.
That's what we were talking about. How there was a lack of certain things in the movie, like Ghostbusters. There
Which
were
you
no
feel like-
there were no Ghostbusters references at all in that movie, and you got to think like, well, then because Sony was probably being fucking dicks about it, because we noticed the Ninja Turtles were the new Ninja Turtles
And not...
in the newest movies, not
and not
a
the
different,
ones...
not
which is-
not even like the TV version, the cartoon version,
which doesn't actually fit with the whole plot, which is, he was obsessed with like the
80s.
pop culture from his like youth.
Yes,
Which
doesn't make sense.
doesn't make sense, because in
would
this
not
timeline,
have-
if it's 2045, he's got to be about 40 right now, which means he wouldn't like this version of
Well,
the Ninja
but
Turtles.
those were skins
True.
that were picked by children.
True.
So that works. But
I'll
with the
forgive it.
Ghostbusters, you got to think that it was probably because Sony didn't want...
Right, they probably
was-
said, well, if
it
you
was
want to
a
do
wormhole.
Ghostbusters, you got to do the female
It
ones.
had to have been like a wormhole where, yeah, you got to use the females, or either Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, or whoever. They didn't want to give likeness rights to this,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't want to get their faces scanned to be animated, shit like that. It was a whole... There had to have been something for there not to be any Ghostbusters, because I feel like Ghostbusters would have been huge.
Well, and there really wasn't any Star Wars. Like, they mentioned the Millennium Falcon,
right.
but I don't remember seeing any Star Wars stuff.
Well, I said no Star Trek, but then you reminded me his whole
His funeral thing
was Star Trek themed. There was a few Star Wars. I feel like
Maybe in the ships that show up, I'd have to look again.
yeah, Spaceballs though.
Yes,
Got the Winnebago. Mm-hmm.
they got that in there.
That was funny. With Ghostbusters, and there was something else.
I feel like we didn't really see any indie, but that's
Didn't
another
see
thing
any-
that
there-
there could be there, but we didn't notice.
Maybe, although it would be funny if the reasoning was that Halliday didn't like he didn't like Ghostbusters. It's like, what? Yeah.
Right, that's like the one thing.
It's the one thing
like.
he didn't like. Like everyone else liked it, he hated it. There wasn't any. Was there Die Hard? There's probably Die Hard.
Not that I saw, but maybe one of the buildings is Nakatomi. But that's another thing we got to.
Gremlins. Was there Gremlins?
I don't remember seeing Gremlins, but I feel like there should have been, because he
Yeah.
produced that.
Maybe they didn't find a place for it.
Was there an ET?
Goonies. There
Was
could have
there
been
an ET?
Sloth. I didn't see an ET.
I bet you there's one in there and we just didn't see it.
There was. Yeah.
But we talked about a couple days after we watched it, like, or maybe it was partly on the way home, how well the songs fit theme wise.
I had this I think it was like the night after we watched it. I think
It was because we heard Tears for Fears.
I didn't wake up, but I came to the revelation that, like, wow, the songs in this movie were very well picked, because I started thinking about the lyrics to Everybody Wants to Rule the World,
Which really fits.
which is like, oh, that fucking fits perfectly, because everyone is trying to find the keys
to
so they can rule the world.
This online world.
And then, there's a place where the sun won't find you. Is it talking about the key in the maze in the end of Adventure?
Because it's in a hidden room.
Because it's in a hidden room. But then, yeah. And
But
then
all the songs
I Hate
really-
Myself for Loving You. Was
Right, because
like
he's in love with his best friend's
was
wife.
in love with his friend's wife.
Which is why the Hall & Oates song where it's Your Kiss is on my list.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of the things that he always regretted, that he never kissed her.
Saturday Night Fever. Does that fit? Or is that just for the moment?
Staying Alive. No.
Staying Alive?
Because if nobody wants to get their character killed, because then they got to start over.
Stay Alive.
You lose all of your shit.
That's right. But the songs, and then the Holland Oates.
I said Hall & Oates.
At the beginning,
It's at the
you
end.
make my dreams come true.
Is that what it was?
You make my dreams
That was Your Kisses on My
true.
List.
No, it was that one. I heard it like
Either way.
I've heard it many times.
And Jump.
Yeah, jump
because you have to jump off the thing in The Shining
into the zombies.
Yeah.
Like, all the songs are perfectly picked.
Like, they all make sense
Like,
when you
but-
watch the whole movie and then look at the soundtrack list. It all makes sense lyric-wise.
They're all very relevant. They're not just
Not
Jump
just-
was the first song, but yeah, they're all relevant to the movie when you think about the lyrics
Yes.
of them. And then it got me thinking, like, is that the treasure hunt in the movie?
Well, when the book came out, it had been out for like 6 months before he was like, oh, hey, yeah, there's like an Easter egg hunt in the book, and go ahead and find it. But it was like through his blog that he announced it.
Yeah.
And
Was he just mad no one had figured anything out?
Probably. He was probably like, I can't believe no one figured out my puzzle.
You better give him a hint.
And it ended with like the person had to break the world record high score of Joust.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, like that was the last piece of it. And then he gave up the DeLorean that he had like painstakingly restored.
Oh, but then he bought another one.
And then he just bought another one.
Yeah, right. Every time I see that guy in a documentary, that's always fucking driving.
Yeah.
Loves that DeLorean.
That DeLorean. Like,
maybe that's why I liked it too. There were so many Back to the Future
There was a lot of Back
references.
to the Future stuff.
And that's, one of my favorite. It's my favorite movie.
I know.
Not one of. It is. It's my favorite film. But that was one of the things is like I didn't understand at the end of the movie when the DeLorean's driving through the battlefield. It's like, dude, the car can fly.
Maybe he hasn't put that in
Or
yet.
he doesn't have enough money to purchase it. It can just
right.
hover. It can't fly.
He can't afford to have it fly yet.
Which would be so. But wait, no bullshit. He won all that money when he got the first key.
Yeah, but he didn't. He bought all that other shit. He didn't
Guy.
upgrade his car.
You should have upgraded your fucking car. You could have just flown. Whatever.
Well, see, and like I know I
And
told you.
is there like a way? Could you purchase a way for it to go back in time?
Oh, that'd be.
Is that an option?
I don't know.
Sequel.
But
They're not gonna make a sequel.
There's, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It's a
really,
fun movie.
I can say it's probably a movie I'm gonna buy if I see it.
Oh,
for
I'm sure we'll buy
$10.
it. It's fun.
It's got a lot of rewatch value.
It does. If only to like for commentaries.
Yeah.
And
making of.
The making ofs will be worth it. It'll be worth it to buy.
Making of is just going to be a dude sitting at a computer.
to be able to like watch it again.
Yeah.
And like, oh, there's something. Because like
Pinpoint.
I feel like that's one of those movies on every rewatch.
Mhm.
You're going to see something you didn't notice.
Yeah, totally.
My problems with it were more about it seemed like they didn't dumb Artemis down, but they kind of did from the book.
Mhm.
It just seemed like she wasn't as smart as she was in the book.
She was supposed to be smarter.
I don't
seemed
know.
Pretty smart.
She had figured out where the first piece of the puzzle was before anybody else, and then he just showed up and was like, "Oh fuck you! I'm gonna beat this D&D."
Okay, but she figured out The Shining.
In the movie, that's true.
So she got the key
Yeah,
first.
right. But it
And
was just
then
like it seemed
she was responsible for bringing down the force field.
it seemed like pacing for me was an issue that is like, and I understand why you want to spend a lot of time on these awesome sequences with like all these cool references,
Right.
but at the same time then it left like the storyline parts like
This is a movie.
it just cuts forward.
Yeah.
It's like he's been dead for 5 years, nobody's figured out the first clue, they figure it out, and then all of a sudden like it's a fucking snowball rolling down a goddamn mountain.
Right, because they're working together.
Yeah, but in the book, they were working together, and it still took them, like, months.
Oh, well, that's not... Come on. They got this billionaire douchebag company guy after him.
And, like, the love story was more kind of incidental in the book, I think. Like
pretty incidental.
Like, he clearly had a thing for her because she was, like, internet famous.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't actually meet until the end.
You gotta understand, the dude drives a DeLorean.
Yeah, she drives an Akira bike, Tron light bike hybrid.
That means nothing to me. Maybe the light bike.
H drives Bigfoot. What's your fucking point?
It's true. Who drove the A-Team van? That's what I want to know. And why didn't they win? It's a fucking A-Team. I really like, because we were talking about the John Carpenter references. And at first, the only one I noticed was the Pork Chop Express, but then I watched it again, and well, Christine, but does that really count?
Because that's more of a Stephen King
more
reference.
Stephen King. But then I noticed there was the map on a screen in the background of Escape from New York, and God, there's probably more. Maybe there's like a MacReady somewhere walking around,
right? In the
coat,
coat.
in the battle, in the coat, yeah, with a flamethrower in the battlefield at the end. Who knows?
We're gonna have to watch it again, and I feel
Roddy
like
Piper or one of the aliens.
I feel like Simon Pegg was kind of wasted.
Well,
that character was way more important in the book,
and
they just sort of like, here's a fucking thing. Here's Simon Pegg, and he's old now.
He's important in the book, but here's an idea. What if he wasn't in the movie?
Fuck,
you're right. Ah, damn you. That's why we pay you money.
So even though it came out at the end of March, beginning of April, I feel like Ready Player One is now the jump start for the 2018 summer movie season.
No.
Yes.
No one really. It died. Sad to say. Well, at our theater.
I was gonna say it's
still out. It's still out there.
It's
but
making a shit ton
of
money.
At our theater,
still.
It's not. No, because there's always a movie that comes out spring break.
Yeah.
At the end of March. There's Batman vs Superman came out 2 years ago. It's when The Matrix came out. Like movies coming out this time of year is nothing new. Summer movie season is still, for some reason, the beginning of May.
Except
but
for now it's Infinity War in April.
Infinity War moved to April, the last week of April, because of fucking Solo. Disney didn't want to cannibalize
its own
audience. So now Infinity Wars gets 3 weeks, 4 weeks before Solo comes out at the end of May. And then Solo will carry over to Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2 will carry over to...
Right, it's just going to be Disney
whatever
all
the fuck
year.
comes out in July. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yep.
There you go. And then... Disney, fucking.
They do have a Christmas. Oh, Mary Poppins.
Mary
is
Poppins.
Christmas.
Yeah.
It comes out like Thanksgiving.
Right. So Disney is again going to make $1 billion this year. They already have with Black Panther, so they're going to make like 5.
Yeah, I haven't seen a trailer for Infinity War or Solo. I'm purposely avoiding it for Infinity War because I want to be surprised.
Yeah.
It's really hard to avoid shit.
It is. It is.
And Solo,
I don't give a shit.
I have always been a Star Wars person, but I really didn't like Rogue One. And I've never been a fan of the prequels.
Mm-mm.
And it's like, if there's already been 4 prequels and I'm not a fan of them, I really doubt that Solo will be the one.
It didn't work for those. But maybe it'll work for this one.
I mean, I'm going to see it.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Eventually.
But, like, in my opinion, the only reason to see it, or the only hope for me, is Donald Glover.
Yeah. My problem with it is that it's not going to do anything creative.
Mm-mm.
It's not going to throw you a curveball. We're not going to find out.
It's going to be just like Rogue One.
Right. We're not going to find out that.
It's not going to be any new discoveries.
Or what we were talking about earlier is that it's like there's not going to be anything. It's just going to be a straight from the get-go origin. Like, here's how Han Solo became Han Solo. It's like, I don't fucking care, first of all. But I know you're not going to do anything at all creative with this. You're not going to like destroy the Millennium Falcon halfway through. But then in the end of the movie, he's going to find another one, because why would they only make one Millennium Falcon?
Right, they've got to be like cars.
They got to have mass-produced them. There's more out there.
Right, like he destroyed his, and then he won another one from Lando.
Exactly. Or some shit like he really liked it, and Lando's the only one that had another one. So card game, whatever. Do something with that. Or Chewie isn't actually Chewie. It's
a different Wookiee.
It's a different Wookiee, and he fucking dies horribly to make you think, oh my god, what? Huh? How could they do this? This doesn't make sense. Continuity, and then it's not actually Chewie.
Right.
They're not going to do that at all. There's not going to be
Mm-hmm.
anything creative about this movie.
It will literally just be by the numbers.
And again, my problem with Rogue One is that there's zero suspense in any of the scenes that are supposed to be suspenseful, because you know
that they succeed.
They're going to get the plans for the Death Star. Why are we even doing this?
Which we talked about that before we saw it. It was like, oh man, wouldn't it be great if like the whole movie?
Oh, my perfect ending.
They're going to get the plans, and you like, it was like, oh, they must succeed because Leia gets the plans, but it's like,
right.
Nope. This was a different mission.
This was a ruse. a false flag mission.
They're the
distraction.
and somebody else is sneaking in to get the real plans to sneak them out.
Yeah. Did we already talk about my ending to Rogue One? My perfect ending to Rogue One, in case we didn't. If we did, we can cut this out. Would be that it could go the same way it did with Rogue One, only they survive. They get off the planet, they survive, and then the end of the movie, they get with the rebels and they escape to what's the planet?
Alderaan?
Alderaan. They escape to Alderaan because it's a rebel base.
And they're like, yeah!
We made it! And then in the sky, they see the Death Star come out of hyperspace. And that's the ending of the fucking movie. Where you think they're okay, but then they get... Or you don't even have to see that. You just get there. They just get
See, but
there.
would that have undercut Vader coming aboard?
You don't even have to have... No, it wouldn't have. It would have been awesome.
No, because it would have fed into that. Because that's him showing up. So it's like...
Because yeah.
And then it just, like, she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then the next scene is
them on
like, yeah, we did it.
Planet, kind of solemnly, yeah, we did it, but at what cost? Blah 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 blah. And then the movie ends, or it just says, we're gonna go to a,
we're going to Alderaan.
We're gonna go to a planet. It's called Alderaan. You'll be safe there. And movie directed by.
That could have even happened before Vader showed up.
Right. They could have alluded to the fact. It could have been one of those things where they don't explicitly tell you.
It's like, oh, it's a happy ending. They get away. It's like, oh wait, they're going to Alderaan.
It's our rebel leader's home planet,
or whatever.
And then that's like the tip. The like, oh shit, they went to Alderaan. Alderaan exploded. These people all died anyway.
Yeah.
That would have been my ending for Rogue One.
See, and that would have made it a much better movie.
Oh, so much better. I mean, they all died. Whatever.
See, but that's the problem. You had
that would have been like, oh shit, twist ending.
Your most charismatic character is a fucking droid.
Yeah.
Everybody else was flat.
Yeah. Boring.
Didn't
really care about them. It's like these people are gonna die at the end. You know they're gonna die.
Well,
can we make them
interesting
and not all downtrodden?
Can there not be a fucking forced love story for no goddamn reason?
Was there a love story?
They sort of pushed them together at the end, and it's like it didn't make any fucking sense. He tried to kill her dad. She did not like that. He was kind of a piece of shit rebel.
Yeah, well, Diego Luna.
Rebel scum.
But anyway, it's just fun to think about, like, man, what would have made Rogue One a better movie? Well, a lot of things. But that was always, before I even saw the movie, that's what I was hoping would be the ending.
Yeah. And then it didn't.
And then with this Solo, it's going to be the same shit. There's not going to be anything about it that's going to be fun.
It's by the numbers.
It's by the numbers. Like, hey, this is what he wasn't always the world's best pilot. Or
here's
maybe
how he got the scar on his face.
Here's how he's got the scar. Here's how he met Chewie. I don't fucking care about this. Like, the plot of the movie could be the Alliance, or it's not the Alliance. It's the
well, no, you
Republic.
You know what it's going to be.
Actually, it's before. Is it before?
You know what it's going to be, don't you?
What?
It's going to be how he ended up owing Jabba so much fucking money.
It could be. But what period does this take place in? Is this after?
This has got to be after episode 3.
Same time as episode 3, just before episode 3.
As
in between, like for the Clone Wars.
As the shit is falling apart.
Yeah, because it's what?
As democracy is ending with thunderous applause.
19 years between episode 3 and 4. So.
Excuse you. Episode 3 and Star Wars. Fuck you. I refuse to say episode 4. I refuse to say A New Hope. Like, go fuck yourself. That movie's called Star Wars.
Don't get her started. Another thing would be interesting is if the whole a plot of the movie is them trying to get Wookiee DNA because they live for so long. It's like, why? Let's get their DNA and we can live long and shit like that. And then that's why Chewie died. I don't know. Do something.
Do something other than what everybody expects you to do.
Everyone knows that's you're going to fucking do.
That's the thing.
But if they... Oh, right. If they did.
Yeah. If they do make something that's a little different. Like Last Jedi. People are going to freak the fuck out.
And, yeah. And then hate it.
This is fucking dumb. I'm only going to watch it 3 or 4 more times.
I'm only going to buy it and then watch it once a year when I watch all the movies.
On May 4th.
And hate them.
They're all fucking dumb.
Fucking eating Doritos. Anyway, but that's, yeah. So there's no winning.
You haven't seen a trailer either, have you?
For what?
Solo?
No.
You don't watch it?
I've seen parts. I've heard it because we're playing it. I just have the audio on in the background, but I haven't seen anything from it. I don't really want to.
You don't want to watch it?
No. We could. Do you want to?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, I mean, who cares? I'm sure we're gonna see it anyway.
I don't really care. Okay.
Let's watch it.
Let's watch it. We'll take a break. And
Be continued.
And okay. Wait. Yes. Okay, so we just watched the trailer for Solo. Maybe we should watch it again.
I'm not.
Let's watch it one more time. Okay, we just watched it again.
Yeah, no, I'm still not.
I don't know.
Like, I can already tell it looks like if it wasn't a Star Wars movie, like, oh, this would be good. This is like action.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've got a good feeling about this. Fuck you.
Get it? Get it?
Because
usually people say, I got a bad feeling about this.
Because in the other one he said, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Is that something a lot of people are making fun of?
God, I have no idea. I've been avoiding everything.
Man.
This guy looks really generic.
He doesn't seem to be acting like Harrison Ford. He doesn't seem to be like doing as good a job as River Phoenix did in Last Crusade, the beginning of Last Crusade.
Yeah.
Playing a young Harrison Ford and fucking like getting all of his mannerisms and tics.
Yeah, but that's because River Phoenix was amazing.
Worked with Harrison Ford, and he was a wrong kid died. Joaquin's okay,
but River was amazing.
River flowed through our hearts.
Aww. Lame.
And,
but no, and just from that I can tell Donald Glover is the best part of this movie.
Yeah. And clearly that's not Peter Mayhew anymore.
No, it's probably the new guy that's been playing him in the suit.
New 8-foot tall gentleman.
It just, wow, no, I can already tell it looks too polished.
It does stick with a lot of realism, and it's not just all CGI shit.
Yeah.
So,
I guess.
But and I like Ron Howard.
Who was it that was working on it before they were like, no, get the fuck out of here?
It was the guys that made 21 Jump Street.
Okay.
Phil Lord and Christopher Miller.
Sure.
And I guess they weren't doing a great job.
That could mean so many things.
But now there's always going to be
bending to our will as Disney.
Exactly. But now there's always going to be that. Well, what was their version going to look like?
Maybe it'll be like the Exorcist prequels,
and we'll get two versions.
And they'll like sue to get their footage.
I see. Now that's always going to be in the back of my mind. Now it's like, well, what did the other version look like? Would that have looked better? Would it have been worse? Would neither of them have been good? Like The Exorcist.
Right. That does not look great.
You know what? You know what it's not doing? It's not scorching my tree.
You know what I see? That the only good takeaways. Donald Glover looks like a pimp, which is what Billy D. Williams looked like.
It is.
Space pimp.
It is. He's doing Billy proud.
That's a Billy D. Williams, like when he's everything you've heard about me is true.
Yeah.
It's almost
Lando.
To me, it almost was like Colt 45.
That's like, what you right.
That's
it's
what I was expecting.
Want Lando to be like,
yes.
Because they haven't ruined Lando yet.
And the other thing is, we're back to May. Thank fucking God, at least for something.
We're back to summer Star Wars movies instead of Christmas.
It should always be May.
For God's sakes,
Disney.
Hey, we're Disney. Fuck you. We can release
Christmas.
We can release these movies at the ass end of August, and it would still make $1 billion.
Yeah, that's true.
They could literally release a Star Wars movie with zero promotion,
and
people would go see it.
Yeah.
It could just show up in theaters.
Oh, they should try it with like.
I've always wanted
Ewoks.
them to. I've literally always wanted them to.
You know they're gonna make like an Ewoks only prequel movie.
Oh God, why would no?
They're going to.
They have to.
And it'll be animated.
It'll be for kids.
It'll be like Care Bears.
It's gonna be that. What? You think it's gonna be hand drawn animation?
Yes.
Wow.
On Endor.
Wow. I love looking at your laugh show up on Audacity.
God,
I want to get a tattoo of that.
Aww. Fuck you. That's cute.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's... Well,
Solo.
I'm sure we'll see it.
You know, I'm going to
That
be...
guy's really generic looking. Has he ever been in anything else?
He was in Hail Caesar.
Oh, yeah, he was the cowboy.
Yeah, he was okay in that. But he's not good at copying Harrison Ford, man.
No.
And who is?
I feel like the kid from Baby Driver would have been a good choice.
Maybe. I think Adam Driver would have been a really good choice, but they already blew that one. Because, like, for fuck's sake, they've shown you seen side-by-side pictures of
Oh, no, I can see it.
Harrison Ford at Adam Driver's age right now. It's like, fuck, yeah.
You can see it in
Like
the
it-
face.
Like, maybe not young, but definitely offspring.
Yeah,
Like
I
this-
think he was a good choice for Ben.
Good
There's a
it's
good...
casting,
And, you know,
but
and Adam Driver's hologram hot.
honestly, it's like, it's no win. Okay, so we're doing young Han Solo, which means we have to find someone to act like and sound like a young Harrison Ford, who we know what a young Harrison Ford
right.
looks like. And this guy looks fucking nothing like Harrison
him.
Ford. So do you cast someone to look like young Harrison Ford, or do you get Harrison Ford and de-age him? Which we
Neither.
know Harrison Ford's not going to want to fucking do. So,
Neither. Which, I gotta tell you, I'm really heartbroken about an Indy 5.
oh yeah?
Oh.
Well, Shia LaBeouf's not going to be in it.
Well, that's it.
Maybe they'll go with what Frank Darabont wrote in his script, like most of his action scenes, which were not even used in Crystal Skull. If they did that, I would be...
Indiana Jones and the Saucermen.
Oh, it was a better title.
It was a better title.
It was would have been a better movie. But whatever.
That's neither there nor here.
It's neither... What would be a Rickyism?
There nor here. That is
It's
a
there nor
Rickyism.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Solo, not scorching our tree.
It's not scorching a tree. I don't think I'm going to come off the
DC,
boat.
not doing great. Not doing great work.
I mean, if you haven't seen Ready Player One, I mean, do.
Go for it.
Read the book. I mean, they both have...
You can do either.
They're both kind of problematic in the sense... For, like, female characters, I guess.
And we're telling you this because we don't care enough about you to lie.
Yeah. I mean, are you excited about any summer movies?
Man, you know, I'll look at a list and then I'll instantly forget what was on that list.
I know. I made a list.
I made a list like last summer.
I made a
And
list for this summer.
There was maybe like 5 movies on it.
Ready Player One was
and I
on
used
it.
to. I've been making summer movie lists since I think 1997, when I would get an Entertainment Weekly, and it would have like their summer movie issue, and they'd tell you everything that came out until the end of August, starting in May to the end of August.
Sure.
And I'd fucking read before even like seeing trailers for shit. I'd read about it like, oh, I'm going to see this. I think one of them was Event Horizon. Like, what's this about? Oh, fuck, this looks awesome. That's on there. And
And we still own it. I mean, you like it.
we don't own it.
We don't own Event Horizon?
No,
We don't have it on DVD?
no,
I thought for sure we did.
no, I don't own it.
That movie's a mindfuck.
Yeah, and like every year, and I kind of stopped doing it after a while. But every
I think
now and
the
then,
last year you did it was the year Godzilla came out. Was that 2014?
It was, I think it was, no, it was the year, yes, because it was that, and like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
But you printed it, and
And,
we
like,
saw
and
almost
then-
everything on
And
it.
then there was like, and then there's always a few movies which was just like, yeah, I might see that, and one of them was Terminator Genesis, which I didn't see until it came out on video.
Yeah.
But you know, really not. No,
Like,
man.
I
Like,
mean,
it's
like I
kinda-
said when we saw Black Panther, like I'm getting very close to be burnt out on
Marvel,
Marvel movies.
and that's
I mean, this
there's gonna be
I'm
one.
hoping it kind of wraps up a bit. I mean, the first Ant movie was fun. I assume the second one will be fun.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah. It's just like,
I'm about tapped out.
I mean, they are kind of turning them into comedies now.
Yeah, Ragnarok was a comedy.
Ragnarok,
Parts of Black Panther
Ant-Man was
did-
pretty funny because it kind of had to be.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
Hopefully,
concept.
Infinity War.
Has some. I mean, there has to be
Some.
some serious. Like people have to die
Gotta be serious. Well, we know Vision's gonna die. Has
because
to.
they need the stone.
He has to, unless that's in the trailer.
I don't
We
know.
haven't watched it, so don't get on our asses. I don't know, but honestly, I will. I looked at.
I looked at a list.
We went over a list last night. Like, what's coming out this summer? We went through like Ocean's 8. Like, ugh.
Oh yeah, they just put a trailer out for that. I
And-
still have,
There's nothing. We're just getting old.
maybe
Nothing looks good, or nothing is good.
are we getting
Han Solo's
cynical?
not one of them.
Are we getting cynical?
Are we getting cynical? I've always been cynical.
Are we ever going to get a Gambit movie? I mean,
Gambit?
I'm still down for Gambit.
You know what? If we do, it'll probably suck.
I'm still down. You know, I just said I was getting burnout on Marvel movies, and then I brought up that. But I'm still down for a Black Widow movie.
I want a Swamp Thing movie.
Of course you do.
But it'll be DC, so it'll suck.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't get your fucking hopes up because you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
They're gonna start filming a movie and then they're gonna cut the budget halfway through, or they're gonna go through massive reshoots and bring on.
You have a show. Just
Ron
be happy with the
Howard.
show.
The show? The show sucked. The show was so bad. They like had no money. It was a USA. It was like USA.
All I
when
remember
USA
is like
started.
I remember like the opening credits. Like
Yeah.
there was like a weird digital filter over it or something. It was like
something.
It's like, what the fuck is this? It
I
looks
would-
like Predator Vision.
I watched
almost.
it.
Predators. Or
Predators?
Predator.
Predator.
The Predator.
The
Whatever
Predator.
it's called.
That doesn't come out till like September now.
Oh fuck.
Because that comes
That's like
out
the only thing that we've been excited about because it's Shane Black.
Because
and it's Predator.
because it did so good in September. They moved the Predator to September, thinking,
Yeah.
oh, we can do that too
When does the second part of it come out?
next year.
Because I enjoyed that.
We gotta wrap it up. This is going on 2 hours.
Well,
babe.
we haven't done one in 2 months.
No one cares. We're just gonna keep talking.
Might as well just keep talking.
You're gonna have a lot to listen to.
Yeah, well, I have
And you're gonna
nothing
have
but time while my kid's asleep. Our
She's
kid.
barely asleep.
Like for the night, I'll have lots of time.
Get to do this.
Because I'll be watching like Kill Bill.
Yeah, I think it's 2 years. Starts filming this summer.
Which,
And you called it.
oh man, when
you fucking called this
when that-
before the first one even came out.
but it was like the first trailer had come out,
Yeah, for it.
and I watched it. I watched the trailer for it, and I saw the girl playing Bevy, and I went, Jessica Chastain. That's what I said. It's
It
like
is.
that's who needs
totally
to play her
is.
as an adult.
And you've been saying it ever since. And then,
now she
lo and
just
behold,
signed on.
she signed on to do it. That's awesome. And then they're gonna get
Well, and
James McAvoy and
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader.
And it's so funny. Like I never would have thought about Bill Hader,
Yeah.
but then as soon as he signed on, I was thinking like, oh yeah, no, I can absolutely see Finn Wolfhard growing up to look like that. I
Yeah.
could see that.
Yeah.
And
Maybe-
I never would have thought McAvoy
maybe to
either, but
get-
I can see the eyes, the blue eyes.
Maybe to get even considered, they had to submit pictures of what they looked like when they were kids.
Oh God, I would love that. I hope so.
It's like, oh, McAvoy, you're in. And then, but we wanted the fat kid to grow up to look like Chris Pratt.
right?
'cause that would be
no.
aw-
That's what he said.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
that's what he
the
said.
actor
Okay.
who played.
But we thought
who
that would
played
be
the
an
fat
amazing
kid.
idea. Not like super ripped Guardians Chris Pratt. Just like normal Andy, maybe
Yeah,
from
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, Chris Pratt. But still, that would be like, yes. That'd be funny.
Oh, and speaking of it, I mean Harry Anderson just died.
Yeah. Harry Anderson.
He was in the
Night Court.
90s. one.
Night Court. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know, but he was in it.
No.
He was in the CBS miniseries.
But speaking of Jessica Chastain, there's this on our notepad, because we haven't been in here for a month and a half. And on this notepad is written,
I wrote,
and
it's my handwriting. I
Yeah.
can read it. It says, Bryce Dallas Howard, Jessica Chastain, Ilsa Fisher, Amy Adams, Domhnall Gleeson, directed by Ron Howard.
yes. And I remember that being a conversation we had where an entire movie would just star gingers,
And it was directed by a ginger.
directed by Ron Howard. And I remember that being like, well, that'd be just like The Women,
See,
which
but
is this movie.
that can't possibly be what's
No,
on
I'm
this.
telling you, it was.
Because I don't know what you're talking about.
How do you not know? This is a movie made by, I think it was the original was directed by like George Pal or George Cukor. It was directed by a guy, but it starred all women. No men were in the cast at all. Then they remade it in 2008, and this one was directed by a woman, starred, Eva Menz was in it. Oh God. Jada Pinkett Smith was in it. Deborah Messing.
Okay.
Meg Ryan. Duh. And Annette Bening
Okay.
was in it. But again, the whole cast, women. Directed by women. Written by women. Like, it was called the women for a reason. But I thought, like,
I feel like I wrote
let's
this
do the
list
same
down.
thing, but they're all redheads.
I feel like I wrote this down after we watched Logan Lucky. I thought this was like an Ocean's 11 thing.
Oh no,
It wasn't. It was
No,
like,
it was
yeah,
that.
they're like a family and they're all gingers and they're gonna rob a bank or something.
okay, that's a better idea. Or no, that's what we do with them. They're a family of redheads and they steal
Yeah.
shit.
Like
But
Domino Gleeson is the only boy. He's got all sisters.
he's the bookish one, or whatever. He's the driver. I don't know. But it was like a cast entirely made of redheads. Yeah.
Or redheads.
Directed by a redhead that doesn't have any hair.
But he used to be a
But he
redhead
is.
and everybody knows it.
Everyone knows. But that was it. And there's probably others. Is Emma Stone actually?
No, she's blonde.
Fucking no, you're redhead. Get in there.
She's not, though. She's a blonde.
Every redhead you could possibly think of in this movie. The redheads, the gingers, whatever. There's your movie. We're giving you fucking gold tonight. Fucking Batman. Hollywood, Batman, Han Solo plot points was too late for. Whatever.
I don't know. We were talking about Ron Howard, and for some reason, it reminded me. We watched The Jungle Book the other day.
Yeah, the animated one?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Because we own it.
Yeah.
And I 100% forgot that Clint Howard is the voice of the baby elephant.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the one from the 70s?
60s.
So Clint Howard would have been...
It was the movie that Walt Disney died while they were making.
So it was like his last
So Clint Howard must have only been like 5 or 6.
So when did Walt Disney die? Late 60s? Early 70s? Late 60s.
Late 60s, I think. It was like 68,
I was just trying to think of when... what was that show he was on? Gentle Ben. Clint Howard's in Gentle Ben. Mm-hmm. And that was, I think, the early 60s. Because when was Andy Griffith's show?
No clue.
Who knows? I never actually watched it.
But yeah.
And Clint isn't that much younger.
Right.
Or older?
Older? Younger? I
Who's
don't know.
the younger brother in that anyway, whatever.
It doesn't matter.
It's funny, though. Clint Howard, man.
Been around a long time.
Been around a long time. Mm-hmm. It's always good to see him and stuff. And he's going to be in Solo, so maybe that'll be the best part about Solo. You get to see Clint Howard.
Right.
In a Star Wars movie where he belongs. Because look at the guy.
Oh, that's mean.
It's not mean.
I mean, his brother has put him in everything.
Everything.
Did
he put his dad in everything, too.
Did he get to film something for Solo before he died?
Maybe.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Maybe he's a hologram.
Oh. No.
He'll get his dad in there somewhere.
No,
It'll be a picture.
It's just an old guy. Some old guy in the background of the bar. He's at the bar. He'll be the bartender.
I hope he got
Rance
his dad
Howard
in there.
will show up in Solo.
I hope so. His
Hopefully,
last,
if he wasn't too sick.
His last thing.
Yeah.
If nothing else, a photo.
It'll be dedicated to him in the end credits.
I'm sure.
Dedicated to Dad.
It's one of those. Talk about a fucking character actor.
Yeah. Talk about like a dad that shepherded his kids into show business and they didn't get all fucked up. And this was in the 60s.
Yeah. And Ron Howard, I think, is probably the epitome of like the most successful child
star.
actor. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, Drew Barrymore.
Drew's turning it around.
You took a nose. She turned it around a long time ago.
But yeah, no, she turned it around.
But it's
Elijah Wood seems to be doing okay.
He doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt seems to be doing fine.
He's doing all right. Kirsten Dunst is okay.
She seems all right.
Macaulay Culkin is just kind of doing whatever.
He does what he wants.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't care.
The Olsen kids the twins are a little
disorders, but sure.
I mean, the younger non-twin is doing fine.
Millionaires anyway. They don't ever need to work.
Which is why they retired.
Exactly. They were millionaires by the time they were like 20. It's like, but now we're going to go to school. Why? How could you possibly become more successful?
They just wanted to go to school.
Why would you want to go online school?
Natalie Portman went to school.
Natalie Portman went to Harvard.
Mayim Bialik went to school.
No one knows Mayim Bialik.
And she came back.
Blossom?
Yes. Now she's on that fucking show that everybody thinks for some reason I should like, but I can't fucking
Do
stand.
you think anyone cared? That's Mayim Bialik. Who? Blossom. I don't fucking care. I have midterms to study for.
You know who they did care about?
Who?
Danica McKellar.
Fucking ain't right, they did.
Oh my god, that's Winnie.
Holy shit, is that Winnie? That bitch. How did you leave Kevin? Why did you leave Kevin, you bitch? He loved you.
God, you know she still has to get that shit.
God, I hope so.
She's like a famous mathematician now.
Maybe fucking Fred Savage calls her every now and then. Why'd you leave me? Fred, stop calling me.
Fred, aren't you a fucking director?
Fred,
don't you produce like It's Always Sunny? Get the fuck out of here.
Leave me alone. Are you recording this? You asshole. I hope they still have a fun relationship.
I hope they're still friends.
Good for her. Good for her.
Good for her.
Oh, it's fucking hot in here.
It
Can we be
is.
done?
Let's end this.
It gets really hot in this room after
I know.
2
I turned
hours.
the heat off and the fucking.
It's
heater
the
vent is
light and
closed.
us, and it's a small room. It's the computer.
Oh fuck you! It does not. My
Well,
computer.
it still gives off heat, but still, it's a small room.
I mean,
We're getting all worked up. We get worked up while doing this.
I think we talked about everything we
Talked
wanted.
about pretty much everything.
I mean, I'm sure we could talk and talk and talk and talk.
It's been a while.
I mean, I did try to record us on the way to Ohio. I forgot to tell you. I listened to it,
Yeah?
and you can kind of hear us, but it's
mostly
because of
road.
where I had my phone.
Yeah.
Mostly, you like hear the vibrations of the car on the
It's
road.
just road noise? Ah. Oh, well.
Yeah, I fast forwarded to like the conversation we had about I Am Legend. The movie fucking sucks. That's it. Let's
Okay.
end.
All right. We'll end on that.
Fuck you, I Am Legend. You're not nearly as good as the Matheson
You
story.
fucking hear that, 11-year-old movie? Eat shit. Eat a plate of dicks.
A whole plate of them.
Whole plate of dicks served up fresh. I don't know what that means.
Are we opening a diner? Fresh dicks here.
Fresh dicks, number one attraction. Dicks, fresh dicks.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
Heaping plate of fresh dicks for you. It's a Tuesday special. What about the rest of the week? Oh, you're going to have to come back and find out. Where is this restaurant? It's underneath. It's in a.
Oh my god.
It's in a. It's in a.
Based on your accent, I have to think it's in New England somewhere.
No, I want it to be in New York, under a building that used to be like an old speakeasy during Prohibition.
So it's like a hidden restaurant. You
Yeah.
gotta know the secret.
Yeah, you gotta know the secret knock, or code, or
Like
whatever to get a heaping plate of fresh dicks. I don't know.
Oh,
I
man.
didn't. Hey, I don't work there, man. I didn't make the menu. Restaurant serves dicks. Nothing I can do about it. I don't know where they get them from. People got to pay medical bills. Here's my dick. Shit. That's fucked up.
Wow, the healthcare system in this
Healthcare
country.
system is fucked. People
Okay, we've
selling
gotta
dicks. All right, and on that note, I don't know.
I don't know how to end
I
that.
don't know what to say. Okay.
I mean,
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Hopefully it won't be as long.
As it won't be 2 hours and 10 minutes.
No, I mean like it won't be as long of.
Oh, wait,
time.
before next time.
Yes.
Well, we got to watch more fucking movies and complain about
What
more
are you
shit.
talking about? I'm at the end of
More
the
movies we
chase.
haven't seen.
Oh. Okay.
Fade up the music, whatever it may be. What was the name of this episode? Goddamn internet bullshit.
A goddamn internet whatever.
Goddamn internet whatever.
That sounds like a Mr. Show sketch.
Sounds like the name of a terrible podcast.
Fuck you.
I'm kidding. Goddamn internet whatever. It's one of those. It sounds like an old man yelling at his computer. His fucking computer using Internet Explorer or whatever that has 8 different search bars installed.
He goes to Alta Vista.
Goes to Alta Vista. Goddamn internet, whatever. He throws his computer away because he's sick of dealing with it.
Oh. Anyways, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, folks. We love you. Bye.